Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal, many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes with the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of immigration. Tonight, sorting out excess baggage.
We've got 6 males, 3 are claiming to be from Afghanistan and 3 are from Iraq.
Getting tough on illegal workers.
Going to extraordinary lengths not to allow us into that room. Get over my plate! Immigration!
And no way in for the quiet American and his special friend.
Hello! I'm a monster, and I'm going back to the United States today, and I am very upset about that.
Heathrow is one of the busiest airports in the world. At Terminal 3, there are 50,000 passengers arriving every day.
Next, please. How long will you all be staying for? There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Most have a legitimate reason to come into the country.
Thank you, madam. OK, thanks very much.
It's down to the immigration officers at the desks to spot those who don't. Officer Neil Newbury started working at Heathrow after doing a maths degree. Today, he stopped a student returning to Britain after a trip home to India. But the border agency suspect Mr. Singh's college in London may be bogus.
When you get these sort of letters confirming, yes, the student is studying here, yes, he can go on holiday for this amount of time, it's usually printed out on a better quality paper if it's a genuine letter. I mean, I could probably print something like that up myself, given a little bit of time on my own computer. So it's not looking great for me at the moment, if I was to be totally honest.
Officer Newbury wants to find out what the passenger is doing in the UK. He starts by checking Mr. Singh's luggage for clues.
You work here? Where do you work? At Tesco's. What do you study, sir? Computer science. OK. I found a lot of information about his studies, a couple of quite large textbooks, so that's a lot of things in his favour. At the moment, I'm sort of changed my mind. I'm thinking he may be genuine now, because he's certainly got the work with him to confirm that he has been studying here and is intending to complete his qualifications.
But it's time to dig deeper. Officer Newbury must make sure Mr. Singh is sticking to the rules. As a foreign student, he's only allowed to work a maximum of 20 hours a week.
You say you also work in the UK?
Oh, yeah.
As where do you work and what do you work as?
Tesco's, nights.
What does a night shift involve? What hours?
It's basically one night shift is 7.5 hours. So in total it's 15 hours.
OK, if you'd like to follow me, please.
Before giving Mr. Singh the all-clear to enter the UK, Officer Newbury must be sure he's telling the truth.
Gov.uk.
He gives Tesco a call.
Yes, he's returned back to the UK from a holiday abroad, and we just want to confirm with yourselves his hours of work and how long he's actually worked for you. 36.5 hours. OK. Even if he is actually attending his college on a rare occasion, the fact is Tesco's have confirmed he's doing 36 hours a week work for them, and as a student he can only work 20 hours a week. There's no way around that. So, yeah, he's in a bit of trouble there. OK, Mr. Singh, come over here, please, sir. I'll ask you a few more questions, OK? You'd like to follow me, please. You've already told me you're aware that you can only work 20 hours as a student. In fact, Tesco have told me that you've been working 36.5 hours a week.
It's only possible because that's a night shift.
So it doesn't sound like you're studying to me, to be honest. Do you now know what will happen to you? You've broken the conditions of your study visa, so your visa will be cancelled today.
Whatever you want me to do, I can.
There's nothing that you can do now, sir.
There's actually no university in whole India.
You should have thought about that before you started working full-time in this country. He's obviously very desperate to stay here. He's saying he wants to complete his course. Obviously, he's extremely desperate to do that, but I'm afraid for me it's going to fall on deaf ears because he had his opportunity a little while ago to come clean to me when I asked him the first time. He's had his opportunity again to come clean with me, and he didn't. He lied to me twice, and I cannot sympathise with someone like that because he lied to me.
Mr. Singh must wait before finding out if he can enter Britain. It's the Chief Immigration Officer who will confirm this final decision.
I think on balance, the fact that he has worked in breach, I think
For the last year.
that's significantly enough to go down the change of purpose route. No, unfortunately, you can't work here solely to support your studies. Genuine students are meant to fund their education from their sponsorship or from other sources, and they can't just work in the United Kingdom to fund their education.
Okay, I've spoken to the Chief Immigration Officer with regards to what you've told me and what Tesco's have told us, and we decided to refuse your entry to the United Kingdom today and cancel your visa, okay?
There's no chance.
Afraid not, no. You've worked in breach of your visa conditions. There's no way back from that, I'm afraid. Working full-time weekly can generate a lot of money, which can then be converted into a lot of money in their country. So there's a lot of money at stake. If we had the time to actually sit down and really, really question and thoroughly examine every single student that comes through our borders, I think we'd find an awful lot of them that aren't actually studying here or aren't actually meeting their conditions of their visa. Unfortunately, with the amount of people we have coming through just this terminal alone, there's absolutely no way we can catch every single person.
Mr. Singh spends the night in detention before boarding the first available flight back to India. Coming up, the enforcers go after illegal workers in the Isle of Wight.
You came in without your own passport, so you entered the UK legally.
Trucks carrying excess baggage in Calais.
It sounds like we've got another one further in who's actually crouched within a load of plastic.
And in Terminal 3, difficult questions for the American who wants to marry an EU national.
How long have you been together?
Ooh, man, y'all, God. I had some personal questions, man.
Britain's border force faces its biggest challenge in France. Every day, almost 5,000 vehicles cross the Channel from Calais. Trucks have become the transport of choice for illegal immigrants desperate to find a better life in Britain. Known as clandestines, in 2007, nearly 12,000 of them were stopped by immigration officers here at Calais. It's midnight, and on the front line tonight is Officer Emma Hogben. She's using a probe which reveals human breathing.
30. Tonight's really busy, so we've got a lot of traffic coming through and a lot of sailings. Each berth tonight's got about 4 sailings each, so I think each ferry holds about 120 lorries. We've got a lot of freight traffic coming through tonight. 30, 40. All we're doing now is we're probing all the soft-sided vehicles with the CO2 units to see if we get a reading. They measure the amount of carbon dioxide that's in the vehicle. So the lower the reading, the less carbon dioxide there is. And obviously the higher the reading, the more there is, which would indicate to us that there's a possibility of people being inside the vehicle. If we get a reading, then we'll have to open them.
Officer Hogben is not the only one involved. Other search teams are also at work, and they might have just found something.
You're right in there? We've got 2 colleagues in there at the minute. There's about 6 people they think they've got, but they're right at the front of the vehicle. Ooh!
Clandestines are usually friendly.
Hello. Hello. Oh,
And rarely aggressive or threatening.
Speak English?
Yes, why not?
Where are you from?
I'm from Afghani.
Where?
Afghan.
Afghani.
Iraq?
Yeah.
Are you from Iraq?
Yeah.
Yeah? Him?
Yeah.
How did you get in the vehicle?
Did you come in to the side?
We've got 6 males. 3 are claiming to be from Afghanistan and 3 are from Iraq. And what we'll do is we'll take photos of them in situ and then we'll get them out one by one where they'll be detained so we can serve papers on them. Stay there. When we opened the curtains, we were quite close to the ship, so their immediate reaction was how close they were to getting onto the ship, which for them must be quite heartbreaking because they're so close to getting to the UK, but they've been stopped, so they were quite disappointed, to say the least.
For every clandestine found, there's the maximum of a £2,000 penalty for both the driver and the company which owns the truck. The ferries need to run on time, so the searching is relentless.
Hello, can you sit down with your passport, please?
The clandestines are cunning and the hiding places imaginative.
Certain loads can be really difficult to search, and in particular tyres, because they can bury themselves underneath them and they're quite difficult to sort of climb across. And wheelie bins are also very difficult because they can get inside, so you have to crawl across and lift up each lid individually, so it's quite difficult to find people. And we often go home with really strange bruises as well from where we've been climbing in certain things.
Officer Emma Matthews may be about to get some more bruises. The CO2 probe has registered a high reading in another lorry.
I can smell.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can definitely smell.
Just here.
Can
Stay
you
there.
pass us the camera,
Stop.
please?
Stay there.
How many? 2 here.
Just 5 months I was here in Calais.
5 months in Calais.
And you speak English?
Where are you from?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Stop moving, please.
Well, there's 2 so far, but good possibility that some more down the front. Just one more?
There is another person
3?
in here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one here.
There is, yeah, I thought it was.
Hello. From Afghanistan as well? Yeah. Any more people? Just 3. 1 chance. They always ask for 1 chance.
Their 1 chance to get to England. As soon as they get to England, then they can try and claim asylum. But can't give them that chance.
Okay, you just wait on there.
What, you stay in Calais for 5 months? No, I'm sure, quite frankly, this is probably the 3rd or 4th time in as many weeks or so that this has probably happened. It's all part of the routine that these guys go through in order to get through to the UK.
The trickle has turned into a flood. More Afghan clandestines have been found in another truck.
So 3 people? 3?
It sounds like we've got another one further in who's actually crouched within a load of plastic, basically. They're just rummaging to see if they can find some more.
Oh, mate. Thank you.
1 chance.
No. Stop asking.
Why?
Because. Come down, please.
1 chance.
No, this way.
I think it's a bit too much of a coincidence that within 10 minutes, until we get 2 lorries with 3 Afghanis in each, they'll be handed over to G4S to mind them while we finish the paperwork, and then they'll be taken back over to the French authorities and removed out of the control zone.
So far tonight, the team have stopped 12 people from crossing the channel illegally. But not every truck is stopped. No one knows how many clandestines get through undetected. At Heathrow Terminal 3, there is a queue of people trying to get into Britain. Officer Tim Wetherall's been working these passport desks for 3 years and does things by the book. He stopped a man from Chicago who says he's here to spend time with his girlfriend.
An American who is a basketball player. He's coming to the UK for 2 months. He has a Portuguese girlfriend here who he says he's coming to see. When I asked him what exactly he's going to be doing in the UK, he just said working out. The concern at the moment is that, the sponsor says she has enough funds to support him, and we have nothing to disbelieve that claim. The worry I have is that he may possibly have been working illegally in Spain, which obviously then we would have the concern that he would do the same here.
The American and his Portuguese girlfriend have been living in Spain, which is now waiting for him in arrivals downstairs. Officer Wetherall won't let them see each other until he's satisfied the man isn't planning to live and work in the UK.
And what is it that you do for work?
Play basketball.
Okay, so what is it you're actually coming over to the UK for today?
Visit my girlfriend.
But what plans do you have with your girlfriend with regards to sort of going forward? Obviously, she's just moved to the UK. Long term, do you sort of plan on moving here or planning on moving to Portugal, or has it not really been discussed?
Actually, I'm planning on getting married.
Okay. Are you engaged currently? Or?
Yes. I'm here because we're making our way to the embassy to take care of the part of the marriage.
Okay. How long have you been together? Yourself and your girlfriend?
Ooh, man, y'all, God. Asking personal questions, man.
Well, I mean, that's related to whether or not you'd be allowed to marry in the UK. That's why I asked.
2.5 years.
Okay. In order to get married in the UK, you're required to have a visa before you come here.
A marriage visa?
Yeah. The fact that obviously you've stated you're planning on getting married and you don't have the visa that you required prior to coming here may result in you being refused leave to enter into the UK today. Okay? That's not a decision that's been made yet, that's nothing, but I'm just making you aware that's sort of the worst case scenario. Okay, you understand that? I don't think he's sort of been trying to deceive us at all. I don't think he's sort of tried to not tell the truth, but I just think he seems sort of quite naive. He wasn't aware of the fact that he needed to have this entry clearance, which he hasn't got. Unfortunately, I'm happy that he's been telling me the truth during interview. So yeah, as I say, I think it's sort of naivety rather than sort of any deception that's gone on here.
The decision to allow or refuse the American entry will be made by Officer Wetherall. But first he will consult the Chief Immigration Officer.
So the bottom line is, he's coming here not as a visitor, he's coming to get married.
Yes.
Plans after that are still up in the air.
Still up in the air. He said that mainly they're probably looking at going back to Spain.
Why bother coming here, getting a job, and why bother getting married here? If in the end staying in the UK isn't part of the plan.
Yeah.
I'm not happy because this man has now told us he's coming to get married. He could have told us that when he first arrived. So at the moment, I am looking that this man might not qualify for entry. But obviously, given that the sponsor is an EEA national, that's some area we have to look at as well. And, we'll make a decision when we've looked at all the facts.
The American's fate is now back in Officer Wetherall's hands. We'll have to find out if it is true love. Illegal immigrants are living and working in all corners of Britain. Targeting the Isle of Wight today is a special enforcement team whose task it is to try and track them down and send them home. This border force is led by Officers Simone Shepherd and Jim O'Leary. They've been told 2 curry houses are employing illegal workers. They can never be too sure just how good their tip-offs are.
You never know what you're going to get when you go into a premises, to be perfectly honest. You can go in looking for one and come out with a dozen.
Enforcement teams in 2007 arrested more than 5,000 illegal immigrants. Employers can be fined up to £10,000 for each illegal worker they employ.
Are you the boss, mate? No? Do you work here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do work here, OK.
Are all the cookers off? Yeah, they're all off. Lovely.
Did you take photocopies of any documents for your employees?
No.
No. We've got around about 11 people on the premises, of which he says 5 or 6 are employees. He's got no documentation with regard to their eligibility to be in the UK or, in fact, to work in the UK. We could be here for a couple of hours anyway.
Officer Shepherd leads a second team to another restaurant where they suspect illegal workers have been working and living.
Can you come in, please?
Nice and gently.
Hello there, immigration.
Sit
Have you
down,
got any
sir.
identification, please? If you've got it, sir, could you get it for us, please? Some ID?
ID, sir. You've got ID.
ID, passport?
Passport.
I'm sorry to wake you up. Thank you very much.
You got your passport?
Well, can you just confirm your name for me, please, sir?
Yes.
Your name, please?
My name is Johiruddin.
And how did you enter the UK, sir?
আমি তো জুয়ে আইছি মনে করো
He came on a visiting. So has he a passport here? Does he have a passport?
No passport, no my this year. This somebody taking a passport. No my passport with somebody.
So he used somebody else's passport?
Yes.
Which was then, so you entered the UK legally?
Yes.
Okay, and your family name?
At the first restaurant, they found 2 workers with out-of-date visas.
You've told me that that last year you got a visa to visit the UK for 6 months. And that was last May.
But therefore, I am satisfied that you have entered the United Kingdom illegally.
No.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of being an illegal immigrant in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, he's done that. And I am arresting you at this time on suspicion of overstaying your visa.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something you later rely on in court. Do you have any possessions on you, sir? Can you empty your pockets and put them on the bed for me, please?
But you're working downstairs as well, aren't you?
No, just sometimes. Just
sometimes. How many hours do you work a week?
I've got permission about 16 hours, but I'm not working last 6-7 months. I didn't work anything.
Oh, so you just live here?
Yeah, just live.
So do you have a copy of your passport or anything?
No, sorry, I'm really sorry about it.
And this is all your money, is it?
Yes, sir.
But you're not working? Right.
We've done our Home Office checks. One of the gentlemen is an overstayer, which means he's no longer got any leave to be in the UK, so he is removable. So he's already been arrested and he'll be coming with us to the police station. The other gentleman has admitted to being an illegal entrant, so he's been arrested as well, and he'll come with us for that interview. So we're going to sit them in a little room out the way a moment while we go and see if we can find some documents for them in their bedroom. With the overstayer, hopefully if we find his passport shortly, he'll be removed back to Bangladesh.
Well, I have his passport, which means he will be going home. I got your passport was in your jeans, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'll just put those
Thank
in there.
you.
But this search for illegal workers has taken a more sinister turn. One the officers cannot ignore.
What we found here, we found some DVDs. There's one of these that may seem slightly concerning. I don't know the nature of the DVD. I don't know whether it's promoting or it's against terrorism, but obviously the DVD itself looks to be of some concern to us, so we'll need to have a chat with the gentleman and perhaps refer it on to police or to Special Branch in order for them to take it further if they deem that necessary.
2 illegal workers from each restaurant were arrested. One will be immediately deported back to Bangladesh, while others will be temporarily released while their travel documents are sorted out. Both restaurants will be issued with a formal warning and face a fine if it happens again. Coming up, at Heathrow, the course of true love doesn't run smooth.
So I won't even get to see my girlfriend.
There is a chance that you won't get to see her, no. I'm not going to lie to you, because she can't come up through security this way.
The clandestines cut up rough.
Stay down! Stay down!
And caught by a lie, more illegal workers.
Where are you studying? In London. And where are we now? On the Isle of Wight. So how are you studying in London?
At Heathrow Airport, the flights continue to pour in. 1,000 planes land here every day. At Terminal 3, the American who says he's here to marry his Portuguese fiancée is still waiting to hear if he'll be allowed in.
Well, I mean, as a visitor, he does not qualify for entry into the UK because he's coming to get married here. What we need to do now is find out to make sure he doesn't qualify for entry as an unmarried partner of someone settled in the UK. In order for him to qualify for entry, the parties have to have been living together in a relationship akin to a marriage or a civil partnership which has subsisted for 2 years or more. So how long have the two of you been in a relationship before? How long have you sort of actually been a couple for?
Approximately 2 years and 3 months.
And how sort of quickly after you got together did you end up living together? Did you cohabit straight away, or have you?
No, maybe a year later.
A year or so later.
Yeah. Now, where's my fiance?
She's in the arrivals area downstairs. She's actually at the airport.
Okay. I got a confession, man. These last months or 2 months, man, I've been going through a lot.
Okay.
Man, my sister died.
Yeah, your fiance told
me. A couple of my aunties died. I just need to get away from the States.
Okay.
Because
I can understand that, and you know.
I just need to get away, man. And my getaway is my girlfriend. And
Okay.
So I won't even get to see my girlfriend.
There is a chance that you won't get to see her, no. I'm not going to lie to you, because she can't come up through security this way.
Please,
Again, that's not sort of cast in stone, and I haven't made any decisions yet, and no one has. But you know, I don't want to give you the hope that you're going to be able to spend time with her, as there is a chance you might not be able to. Okay? It sounds like he has had a hard time in the States. The fiancé stated that his sister was murdered back there, which is obviously it's horrific for anyone. And we do take into account any compelling and compassionate circumstances. But given that he's also said that most of his family are still back in the States, I don't think we're if we were to sort of refuse him, if that's the decision that's made, I don't think that's unduly harsh, because obviously he does have his family settled back there. The last time they saw each other was when he left to go back to the States from Portugal in February when his sister was murdered, and they haven't seen each other since then.
I think we should refuse him entry, and I think we should refuse him entry as a visitor.
On the basis?
On the basis of the fact that he has few ties to his home country.
Yeah.
There have been some discrepancies between what he said about his relationship with the sponsor initially. There have been some discrepancies about what he said he was coming to do as well, because he didn't mention the wedding until later on. What about any compassionate circumstances that apply here?
He's obviously very upset, and he's been sort of close to tears and in tears throughout the interview, to be honest. His main concern was whether or not he's going to get to see his girlfriend. I don't think that there are compassionate circumstances that justify granting him entry into the UK, but there may possibly, just to allow him to see his girlfriend, if we're satisfied he's not going to abscond, to possibly grant temporary admission.
Temporary admission can be granted before a decision is made or after a decision is made. It's where we normally retain the passport and the documents, and it's where somebody is allowed outside on licence as such. They're not legally admitted to the United Kingdom, and they have to report back at certain times, and we would put a time limit on the temporary admission.
The compassion of the immigration officers means he will get 1 day to see his girlfriend. Then he must go back to Chicago. Officer Weatherall will hang on to his passport.
If you get the marriage visa, there's absolutely nothing stopping you coming back to get married here, okay? You're okay to go now. They're both on their way. Obviously, I think, they're sort of unhappy with the decision, but happy to finally sort of be back together. I think we came to the right conclusion. Obviously, they didn't qualify for entry as a visitor. He didn't qualify for entry, so he was refused. But we've let them sort of have a day together so they can sort of see each other. When he applies for his marriage visa, assuming all's well, then he'll be sort of, fine to come back here, and they can get married and decide where they want to live. So that's the end of that for now.
In Calais, there's another frontline post for the border force. Clandestines trying to cross the channel illegally can also stow away in trucks heading for the Eurotunnel.
Right, sir, can you step down with your passport for me, please? You all clear?
But Officer Mark Atwell has an extra tool in his armoury to give him the edge.
What is this? It's a heartbeat sensor. It's connected to the machine, which is just over in that cabinet there. What we do is we place this on a metal-to-metal contact surface within the vehicle. The machine will then try and detect any vibrations that are caused within the vehicle, either by people moving around or even by their heartbeat. It's quite a sensitive piece of kit.
With up to 30 trucks an hour coming through the search bay, it's not long before hearts are racing.
Brilliant, ladies, maybe another one.
Oh, we've got high readings on the heartbeat, and this time it's actually come good. There's some people in the back. If you have a look at the readings, that's where you can sort of see that they're sort of true readings. They all look very similar.
That's a family group.
Oh, it's 2 kids.
No, it's your mum, dad and child. Do you want them out or not? No. Oi, stay there. Stay down there. Get down there now and stay there. You get down in there. Down in there. No. Yes, stay in there.
Officers won't let the clandestines out of the truck until they've moved it to a safe area.
We've got a family, looks like mother, father and child, possible Eritrean nationality, obviously concealed down at the front of the trailer. They're wrapped in foil to try and obviously prevent the CO2 detectors getting set off, but obviously using the heartbeat machine, obviously we found them that way.
We'll sort them out in there. I mean, they'll know they've been found here, and then we'll just move them out there, round to the left and into the deep search bay. And that's where we'll unload them, because we don't get them out in the lanes.
Get down. Sit down. Sit down. The problem we have with this particular nationality is a communication problem. We found them, they're obviously quite keen to get out of the vehicle as quickly as they can because it's quite uncomfortable inside. But obviously we've got a duty of care towards their health and safety, so we've got to make sure they're nice and safe while the vehicle's actually moving.
Keep him coming. Stop!
So this is sort of 4?
4 so far.
Papers. You've got French papers? What was it?
4 people so far. I believe there's a 5th in there. But they're a bit agitated at the moment, so it's a bit of a delicate situation.
Back right-hand corner, you reckon? One more!
Okay, I'm coming.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Stay there. You stay there.
No camera, you know.
You stay there.
Hey!
Stay there.
Hey! No! Camera!
Stay down. Stay down!
The man's anger at the presence of the camera is a concern to the officers.
Call the pack! Call the pack!
If ever there's a risk of danger, they withdraw and contact the French police.
We've got to think about our own safety and about the safety of illegal immigrants. So at that stage, we decided to withdraw out of the vehicle. We'll close the vehicle up and we'll call the people really in this area who know how to deal with it, which is the French police or Frontier de Path. They'll come in and they'll then now diffuse the situation, hopefully.
I'm trying.
Come on. Go out. Close the door straight away.
To avoid further provocation, the TV crew stopped filming.
Come.
15 minutes later, unfolding events are captured on a camcorder. The clandestine climbs out of the truck. Officers can only look on, as in France it's not their policy to use their power of arrest.
One of them has got very violent and he was kicking and screaming in the deep search bay in the lorry. So much so that he climbed up to the top of the roof, cut himself out, and as he got up onto the roof, he sat on top, he was threatening to jump off, he was screaming, he was threatening our staff, and basically the other 4 have played up to him. And so now they've walked out of the deep search. There's nothing we could do about it, but they're walking so far away from us that they could just jump into another lorry and come through. Yeah, it's a really extreme situation.
The Eritreans are picked up by the French police and released outside the port area. Most clandestines rarely carry any form of identity to avoid being deported by the authorities. They're free to try again to make it across the channel. In the Isle of Wight, the enforcement team is on the move again. This time they've been tipped off that a hotel is employing illegal workers.
We've got a warrant for the premises. Is it possible to speak to the manager? Hi, it's immigration. If you'd like to step that way, we're going to have a word with you. Do you speak English? Hi there.
You work here? Oh, you work here, don't you? Yes. Can you come downstairs and speak to us? From immigration, we're speaking to everybody on the premises.
The team find 5 workers. 2 of them from Swaziland, who have been in the country longer than they should have.
Your visa ran in November 07?
07.
07.
Yeah.
It's 2008 now.
Yeah.
Where is it you're studying? In?
I'm studying here.
Where are you studying?
In London. Usually
In London?
Yeah.
And where are we now?
I'm Isle of Wight.
On the Isle of Wight. So how are you studying in London? Pardon? You used to go there sometimes. Are you studying in London now?
At the moment I'm not in London.
You know you're not in London, no. Okay. We haven't got any record of either of your new applications. 2 overstayers. They should have left the UK last year and the year before actually. So they overstayed, they're leaving the UK and we will be looking to remove them back to Swaziland.
The hotel is run by a husband and wife team. But the wife is away and has the key to the office safe, where one worker claims her documents are locked away.
And yes, what's your name? Okay. Do you can you spell that for me? Violet.
Violet.
You're living on the premises here. Okay, so you've got a room upstairs, have you? Yeah. So where is your passport in your room?
No.
So the manager's got it. Have you got any other form of identification?
Everything is in the office.
In the rooms?
No, in the office.
In the office? All right. So have you lived in Russia before?
Yeah, I'm not quite easy.
Right. Have you ever had a Russian passport? No? You weren't born in Russia or anything?
Huh?
You weren't born in Russia?
My mom, it's...
Your mum's Russian, but you're Lithuanian.
Lithuanians are part of the accession state, so are entitled under certain circumstances to work and reside in the UK, exercise treaty rights. Russians are not. Russians are still a nationality that require permission to be in the UK and permission to work.
The officers need proof the woman is Lithuanian. She says her documents are in the safe, so they go to check her room. She doesn't seem to have a key to that either.
Oh, so this is your room, is it?
Yeah.
So where's the key?
It's in the office. It was in this board with one small teddy bear and the key stick. So I don't know. Now
It's on the big bunch of keys?
And this board, it was in the office. Yeah.
On the big bunch?
And that big board.
On the board?
Wait, there is one big board like
Okay,
that.
and it's not there now?
Here. So there is no, I don't know, maybe someone take it.
OK, wonderful. Let's go back.
She's telling us that all her documents are in the safe. We can't access the safe. There's the issue of the lost key, which just seems a little too convenient when you tie it in with the whole nationality issue. So they're going to get into her room. We can't find the key. We've given her lots of opportunities to give us the key. We can't find it, so they're going to make a forced entry into the room, see if there's anything in the room that might establish either way. At the moment, that's the problem, is we can't establish one way or the other.
Stand on my bridge! Immigration!
There you go then. Coming in. OK, we'll take your whole wallet, actually. Have you got anything else in here
What about?
that might prove who you are?
Yeah, I'll show this account letters.
OK. You haven't got a photocopy of your passport anyway?
Photocopies?
Yeah.
It's all photocopies they make for me and we take in the office. This is my sister.
Right, so that's all in the office as well. You've definitely got nothing else in here. You see, unfortunately, Violetta, if we can't prove who you are, you might have to come to the police station with us. Go on, there you go. We'll go back round the front. You can't prove to us who you are. OK, so we can't prove you're Lithuanian. So I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of illegal entry, and we're going to go to the police station. OK? You don't need to get upset, OK?
No, but for what?
We can't prove 100% that you're Lithuanian, OK? So we're going to arrest you now and take you to the police station, and we're going to sort it out there, where we can sort it out much easier. So I'm going to arrest you now on suspicion of illegal entry.
So good to go there.
She seems quite sincere, but there's too many cases where we come across, you know, they've been sincere and it's not the case. I mean, you need hard proof. You can't go on your feelings, really, unfortunately.
The woman is the fourth member of staff arrested. As the officers search her room more thoroughly, they find a Lithuanian passport after all. But it's not hers.
We've made a search, we've located a Lithuanian passport that's actually been reported stolen or lost in 2004.
The team also finds her genuine passport, proving she's from Moldova, which is not in the European Union.
That's the Moldovan passport. The Moldovan passport's actually expired now, and also the visa inside it has expired, hence she was using the Lithuanian passport.
Coming up, more bad news for the woman from Moldova. And the American teacher with a suitcase full of friends.
So these are what, for the students, is it?
Yeah, they work on, we do it on television.
It's all pulls, no strings, eh?
Immigration officer Steve Hassler has been helping to man the border at Terminal 3 for 2 years. He stopped a passenger from America who's come to London to do some teaching, but he doesn't have a work permit. As usual, his bags will be searched before further questioning.
Am I going to recognise anyone, am I?
No, I can recognise anyone.
No, OK.
This is not what he expected to find.
So how many you got altogether?
I think I've got about maybe 12 or 13.
So these are what, for the students and stuff, is it?
Yeah, they work on, we do it on television. And everybody gets a copy. And we learn how to do it.
So it's all pulls, no strings, eh? OK, sir. Right, we'll pop them back in there now. We've seen them. It's not every day you have a bag search and you find 15 puppets in there. So clearly it's more than just a holiday.
You know, he's coming here to work. I mean, he's admitted much. You know, he's got his itinerary in there that we can have a look at. He's also mentioned that he's actually got a website about his tour to the UK. There you go. He's holding a UK tour. He's got 5 venues. People are going to be charged £59 per person to come in and to work with him in one of these workshops. So clearly he's coming over here, he's making money. He doesn't have the work permit, unfortunately. Just want to take a seat. If I may ask you just to sit in the far corner. So why have you come to the UK?
Half vacation and half to teach my classes.
Okay. How much did they pay? You?
They're paying me between £200 and £350 a piece.
Is that per workshop?
Per workshop.
Okay. The main premise of the work permit is that you are given a permit to come over and to work in the UK. Yeah. That's the problem that we have at the moment, okay. It's just a bit disappointing that not one of the colleges, while he's arranged to come over and teach, I've said to him, well, you actually need some sort of visa. Considering they'll get international students there all the time who have to have visas to study, I would have liked to have thought one of them would at least realise that he needed a work permit to come and teach. Apparently, yeah, he's got 4 Emmy Awards for work he's done on Sesame Street and the Muppets as well, so, you know. It'll be a bit disappointing when I have to tell him he's refused, you know, but we'll see. Anyway, we're going to refer it to the CIO, obviously, get his feedback on that, and we'll take it from there.
Officer Hassler knows the Chief Immigration Officer cannot let the puppeteer enter the UK without a work permit. But he may offer a compromise when it comes to the passenger's detention.
I don't think he's a case for the holding room, is he, really?
Not at all, no.
I mean, for temporary admission.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was going to recommend, that we give him, you know, I don't know how long you wish to give him, 1 or 2 days. The first...
I think we give him till late tomorrow.
Well, there's a flight at 15:30.
Temporary admission will allow the passenger to come into the country only until his flight home the next day.
He took it quite calm, actually. I mean, I thought there would be a little bit more emotion there. If we were to let him in, then what's to stop us letting everyone in? You know, we've got to be fair to everyone. Yeah, in this instance, you do feel genuinely sorry for him. It's going to impact on him greatly, but you know, we've just got to do it.
In the Isle of Wight, the woman who claimed to be Lithuanian is starting to come clean about her background.
She said, my name is not by letter, it's actually an Italian. She came out with the details, which we'd already ascertained from a Moldovan passport, which we suspected was her, and she just confirmed that.
Whereabouts were you born?
Moldova.
She's told us that she doesn't want to go back to Moldova, and the reason she's come over is because somebody was hurting her over there. She's obviously very, very upset about the whole situation. So we'll treat her nicely, we'll have a chat with her in a minute, and look to remove her back to Moldova.
I'm very sorry because I did lie to you.
What will do?
It's right.
Let's get your tissue.
She's a sweet lady, actually, so you've just got to sort of detach yourself from it, really. At the end of the day, she's still an offender, just like everybody else who we come across. So we've got to treat her as such. Can't make any special allowances, unfortunately.
The woman will be sent back to Moldova. 2 workers are removed to their homelands, Swaziland and India. A 4th is given temporary release while a claim she is making about her human rights is decided.
Give me a call at any stage.
The hotel is fined £10,000. At Terminal 3, it's time to go back home for the quiet American teacher and his puppets.
Hello! I'm a monster, and I'm going back to the United States today, and I am very upset about that. Yes. I was going to teach the teachers how to use me for ESL, which means English as a second language, and also for therapy and all sorts of things like that. But of course I'm not going to be doing that. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, it's so sad. All the kids that won't be able to laugh. Oh.
Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal, many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes of the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of the immigration service. Tonight, a student who can't answer basic questions.
How do you get from Hounslow to your college?
The Piccadilly line from Hounslow to I don't know what stop.
Search teams in Calais working round the clock.
Right, stay there. Stay there for 1 minute. Stop!
And cracking down on illegal workers in Birmingham.
Okay, so I'm detaining you to effect your removal from the UK.
Just the translate, please.
Okay, you are under arrest.
Many operations carried out by enforcement teams are based on information given by members of the public.
Hello, UK Borders Agency.
In the northwest, intelligence is processed here at Brooklands in Manchester.
What kind of passport?
The centre receives over 1,000 calls every month. Today, an enforcement team led by immigration officer Rob Evans is about to act on one of the tip-offs.
And we're going to Tarmin Indian Restaurant, Burnley Cottage, New Road.
They've been told that 2 restaurants in Manchester are employing illegal workers.
Health hazards, cooking utensils.
We've got a warrant, yeah, to enter and search the premises. How many staff have you got on?
There's 3 of us.
3 waiters or kitchen staff?
2 waiters and 2 kitchen staff.
Right, okay. Right, with the immigration service, we're conducting a visit here at the moment.
We're just sweeping the premises at the minute and we're just seeing who's actually on the site, and then we're going to identify a sterile area so we can interview all those working.
Can I just ask you to pop over here for me?
It's not quite the efficient execution the officers wanted. And now their intelligence is letting them down too.
Do you know this person? He was meant to be working here. That's the information that we've received, so that's why we've conducted a visit today. So you don't know this person?
There's no date of birth, I don't.
No.
No, you can go back to work, pal. Thanks very much. Thank you.
2003, you were granted indefinite leave to remain. Okay. They've all checked out, they're all fine. 3 of them got British passports, haven't they? And the guy that's just the last one has been granted indefinite leave to remain in 2003, but he's never been naturalised, but he doesn't have to be naturalised, he can just remain in the UK.
The workers in the restaurant are all entitled to live and work in Britain. They find nothing to suggest the owner is employing illegal workers. All the enforcement team are left with is a bill for a broken table. The enforcement team move on to the second restaurant.
Stop working, tell them to stop working, come out, now.
Officers occasionally film their raids. This is part of their evidence gathering. It helps them to identify whether or not people are found working on the premises.
Make way through there, please. Right, do you want to take a seat for me, please? Take a seat round there. Rob, I'm not sure whether he's a customer or not.
Where do you go? There's one customer.
He says he's a customer, but I don't know whether
Looks like a delivery driver to me. Sit down. You were behind the counter, weren't you?
Just sit down.
The team find 5 employees. Now they want to know if the men are entitled to work in the UK.
Pakistani, yeah? What's your immigration status in the UK?
इतना किस रहा हो stay was the work permit पर या शादी करके visitor.
Your visitor?
He says he just come to see his uncle.
Just come to see your uncle, but you're working here, aren't you?
Your friend?
You're telling me you're not working here?
So come interrogation.
You are. I can tell by what you wear. I can tell by your hands and your shoes and your t-shirt. You're working here.
No, वैसे
He says he come in to see him and he was helping him, he says.
Right, I can take your name, please.
Yes, Mr. Muhammad Afzal.
What's your date of birth, Mohammed?
19th December 1951.
And what's your immigration status in the UK?
Just about.
You got a work permit?
We've got that last time, so we should be alright.
One worker claims he has a work permit, but he says his passport is at a friend's house. The team check his details.
When did you last enter the UK?
Last, what, 1 year?
May 2007? Who has your passport?
No, he took it my passport.
Your friend's got your passport?
Yeah.
I beg to differ, because I've got it.
It's downstairs.
It was in your coat out there. Your passport. So don't be telling us lies that your friend's got your passport. Tell the truth. I've got your passport and your identification card.
No, this is mine.
It is yours?
Yeah.
How can you say that's not you? No, it's time to tell the truth now. Tell us the truth. You last came to the UK in February 2006, according to your passport. So you've been here for over 2 years without leaving the UK. Yeah? Yeah. So you're actually here illegally at the moment, aren't you? Yes. And you're working illegally in this takeaway, yes? Yes. Thank you very much. Just stay there.
Two suspected illegal workers were arrested. Both men have since been removed back to Pakistan. Their employer is fined £10,000. Coming up, the student at Heathrow who doesn't seem to study.
Since September, they've confirmed to us that you've not attended any classes. I'm inclined to believe what they're saying.
Stay with this gentleman here. Sorry about that.
And illegal car washers who appear to use vanishing cream.
Where's our friend gone? Right, keep the radio clear, please, guys. I think we've got runners.
In 2007, almost 350,000 non-EU students came to study in Britain. Over 10,000 from Pakistan.
Why have you come here to the UK?
One student has aroused the suspicions of the immigration officers at Heathrow's Terminal 3. He's returning to the UK after a trip home for some unusual surgery. Officer Newbury takes on the case.
We get people going home for all sorts of treatments because obviously in the UK they got entitled for the free treatment on the NHS, so they have to pay for it, and it's quite expensive here for them to pay for it, so a lot of them do choose to go home. This is the first time I've had someone go home to have a hair transplant. This is definitely a first for me. He's been away for 6 weeks. The thing that initially tipped off the officer was the fact that I think he said that he travelled direct from Hounslow to his college at London Bridge on the Piccadilly line without actually changing, which I think is actually impossible. You need to change.
Officer Newbury wants to make sure the passenger is a genuine student and that he isn't working more than a foreign student's maximum allowance of 20 hours a week.
Why have you come to the UK? You came in yesterday. Why have you come to the UK?
I said I come for study in Western College, London.
Western College?
Western College.
And what subject do you study?
I diploma in study. Business study.
Business study?
Yeah, definitely business study.
You said you had surgery in Pakistan?
Yeah, surgery.
What was that for?
Yeah, it's for hair surgery, sir.
Hair surgery?
Hair surgery.
Okay. How much did that surgery cost you?
In currency is £500.
Cost £500 in Pakistan, yeah? Do you work in the UK?
Yes, sir.
What do you work as?
I just work with a recruitment company, and after that they send me some other reports for packing something.
Packing, yeah?
Yeah,
Is it just labour?
Yeah, just
with your hands.
Tray,
yeah.
Something straight.
How many hours do you work a week?
Yes, it's 20 hours. 20 hours.
Exactly 20 hours?
Yeah, 20 hours. Because 2 days of work.
What days do you work?
Normally Sunday.
Okay, you say you study 18 hours a week. What days do you study?
Study is Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I just study 2 subjects, and managerial management.
Is it management or managerial?
Managerial.
Just managerial.
Managerial. Managerial management.
Managerial management.
Yeah.
And what hours?
It's from 11 to 3.
On Tuesday, what do you study?
On Tuesday is a marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah.
And that's what hours?
It's same hours.
11 to 3.
11 to 3.
And on Friday?
And on Friday, same hours.
11 to 3.
Yeah, 11 to 3. Yes.
That's 12 hours a week. Where's the other 6 hours that you say you study a week?
The 6 hours I just spend over there. Sometimes I discussion with the friends. Discussions.
But I'm more concerned about the timetabled hours. Yeah, not meeting up with friends. It's timetabled hours in a classroom with a tutor talking to you about your modules.
Mr. Raymond wants to come into the UK on a student visa. Officer Newbury is not convinced, but needs hard evidence before he can refuse the man entry. In Essex, enforcement teams regularly visit businesses they believe are employing illegal workers.
Chris, in
Today's
your vehicle,
target, car washers in supermarket car parks.
Intelligence has been received that African and South American males are working as hand car washers at supermarket sites and car dealers across Essex. Risk assessment: this is a medium risk operation. All officers and observers to wear issued personal protective equipment and check it's in working order. Specific risks for this operation: officers to be mindful of the risk of clean chemicals being used as weapons. Arrests to be made if deemed appropriate.
With the car washers quickly rounded up, the team want to know their identities.
Okay, sir, can I have your right hand? Check this finger here.
Using a mobile fingerprint unit, the officers will soon know who is legal and who is not.
Mehdi Bakish?
Yeah.
Right.
Mehdi Bakish.
7 August 77.
Yeah.
Iranian national, male.
Right.
ASU.
Reference
Bravo
111
797.
Yeah, it's Faz.
Faz, not allowed to work.
A Faz is a failed asylum seeker. This man has been refused permission to stay in the UK.
You're under arrest as a person liable to be detained. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned, something which you later write in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, all right?
Okay.
Right, before we put you in the vehicle, we need to search you. The guy we've just arrested is an Iranian who have been proved to be a failed asylum seeker. So he doesn't have permission to work. He is removable from the UK if we can find a document at his home address. So that's the intention, is to go to his home address and see if we can find a passport or anything to get a document for him.
She understands, okay? The person allowed to be detained on the Immigration Act, you have to say anything, but it may harm the defence.
The team arrest 4 other suspected illegal workers, and their documents must also be searched for. All the men claim to live in the same house, only a short walk away.
Gloves on. A lot of these places are all multi-occupancy, lots of foreign nationals, all living in bedsits and paying a lot of money to landlords. Okay, start searching. Do you want to take that side, or are we going to do it methodically? Passport is the essential thing which we're trying to find. That's the key to everything. Passport or anything with proof of identity. Because without that, the Iranians won't entertain any application to get him a document whatsoever. It's very rare that we find them, but one day we will do.
Searching can be a dirty job, but this time it's a dangerous one too.
We've just been advised that one of the Detainees being arrested is possible heroin addict, so we've got to watch out for sharps. Julie, we've got some drugs in the back room here which may relate to the heroin user. Do you want to ask him if they are his and if he needs them?
The team find a heroin substitute, but no documents with ID.
Got from the library.
However,
It probably
Officer
doesn't mean
Dan
anything, but it
finds
could-
evidence of a
it's a bit overdue as
misdemeanor
well.
that falls outside his jurisdiction.
2006. If we can't nick him for immigration offences, we're looking for an open book library, yeah? Yes.
But because the book is a manual for a jet fighter, the team alerts Special Branch just in case. At Terminal 3, the foreign student who went home to Pakistan for a hair transplant is still being questioned by Officer Newbury.
Where do you live in the UK?
Sir, I live in Hounslow.
Where is your college based?
This college is in Bro High Street.
Where, sorry?
Bro High Street, Brough.
Borough High Street?
Yeah, Borough High Street.
Okay. How do you get from Hounslow to your college?
Sir, I go to Hounslow by tube.
Okay, so I want you to explain to me what your route is. I know you told the officer earlier that you go direct from Hounslow to London Bridge on a Piccadilly line, which you can't do.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want you to explain to me what your route is.
Yeah, I told you it's Piccadilly line from Hounslow to, and I don't know is some stop I put off and change something other.
You don't know what stop that is?
Pardon?
You don't know what stop?
But I don't know what stop. But I think so. I just take in is other line one, because I most of the time I go with my friends.
One of my colleagues contacted your college and asked them to confirm your attendance on your course. What do you think they said to us?
Okay, sir.
You don't know? Okay. They've confirmed to us in writing that you've not attended your college since September 2007.
No, sorry, it's not possible.
Not possible. You're saying that they're lying?
Yeah, it's been lying.
Okay.
But one letter I have also.
Well, that's what they've sent us. Okay, that was sent to us. Okay. Since September, they've confirmed to us in writing, as you can see, that you've not attended any classes. They've also confirmed what modules you should be studying, and they're not the ones that you've told me today. So how do you explain that? I'm inclined to believe what they're saying. So I want you to tell me, what have you been doing in this country since September 2007?
No, where is?
You don't know?
No, sir.
Stop the interview for the moment, and I'll come back and speak to you a bit later, and we'll try and get to the bottom of this. It's quite obvious that he's been caught out. He's played the game. I assume he's been working for the last 6 months, probably full time. He's probably made a bit of money out of it. He's been caught, but he just won't admit it.
If there is clear evidence a foreign student is working more than the permitted 20 hours, or is not attending his course, he will be refused entry. Officer Newbury refers the case to the Chief Immigration Officer.
Do you think, in your opinion, that we have sufficient information as things stand for us to cancel it without necessarily having the information from the employers?
Yes.
From the interview notes that you've done so
From
far?
interview notes and from what the college has sent us this morning, I think we have got sufficient information to cancel his UKRP and return him back to Pakistan.
Right, fine. I'm authorising that recommendation.
Okay, I've actually spoken to the Chief Immigration Officer with regards to your case. He has decided to believe what the college have said, because they have no reason to lie to us, and we are going to be refusing your entry to the United Kingdom, cancelling your visa, and returning you back to Pakistan on the next available flight. Okay?
You do not give me a right of appeal?
That's what I was going to come to next. So those are two options that you have in front of you. You can either stay in the UK for 5 days to appeal, and you'll be in detention for 5 days, or you can return to Pakistan and you've got 28 days to make an appeal out of country. So I need to know now what your option is, what you decide you want to do.
I want to appeal here.
You want to appeal in country, you want to stay for 5 days in detention. Yeah. You won't be allowed entry into the UK, are you aware of that? Yeah? Okay. The basis of your argument going to be that the college is lying?
Why college send like this letter?
What do you think the judge will think, though, when he sees this written information from the college confirming, in writing, signed by the college, saying that you've not attended for 6 months? You're going to spend 5 days in a detention centre to appeal against this, just on the fact that you think that the college is lying, and you're insisting on staying in this country to appeal,
yes,
even though you've got nothing to appeal against.
Yes.
You're just going to waste everyone's time.
Yes,
it's a waste of our taxpayers' money, isn't it? Well, I've tried to help, but that's it. Okay, I'll pop you back in the holding room now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Would you like to follow me, please? Well, he's got a right of appeal, but he's got no case. I'm not sure what he's going to base his appeal on. He's just trying to waste everyone's time, and he knows it. And it's just frustrating. There's not a thing we can do about it.
The man was granted temporary admission to lodge his appeal. He later withdrew the appeal, but remains in Britain awaiting the outcome of a judicial review. In Essex, the enforcement team has moved on to another supermarket car park, and they think they're on to more illegal workers.
Hello, mate, from immigration. You got any ID on you? You got a wallet? One of these. You got one of these? In pocket? Yeah, anything in there with your name?
No.
Okay, just wait with me, then we'll come and have a chat. Stay with this gentleman here.
Officer Dan has found a worker who isn't too keen to answer his questions.
Can't go out for Lehman.
Where's that thing gone?
Yes, sorry. I haven't seen it.
Right, keep the radio clear, please, guys. I think we've got runners. Yeah, a guy in his late 50s, 5'5", unshaven, dark skin, Iranian national.
The 2 people have run off from the site have been picked up. We put the call out to the local police, and looks like they've been detained by a local police unit.
Oh, here he is. Thank you, gentlemen.
No worries.
Well, I thought it was one, but he was the one. Yeah.
The team are reunited with their runner,
You're not going to run away this
along
time.
with 2 others they didn't know had
Okay,
gone.
you 2 come over here. Yeah, well, you ran away, mate. You shouldn't have done that.
To remove illegal workers, they must first find evidence of who they are and where they're from.
What's your name?
Muhammad.
Mohammed?
Hussein.
Hussein?
Yes. Akdar.
Passport?
No passport.
No? Pourquoi pas?
Address?
No. Address?
Yeah.
Here?
Chris, what's a wallet in French? A portefeuille? No. Gentlemen, you've been arrested by the police. You're further arrested as persons liable to be detained under Schedule 2 of the Immigration Act. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand? Probably not, but no. You're under arrest. Right.
Everybody have children, everybody have wife, everybody rent house, my Iran, no, but everybody no working, no free. I will stay here.
Well, you're not allowed to, are you? You're not working legally. That's what it's all about.
Thank you very much for your help.
There's people in this country who haven't got jobs.
In the 2 car parks, the team arrested 11 suspected illegal workers. All were Iranian nationals. 1 man is later removed from Britain. The others are on reporting conditions, while the Immigration Service await their travel documents. Coming up, suspicions of tampering with trucks.
They've cut through the tilt cord and they've pinned it back together and glued it as well.
And the sex offender caught out in Manchester. Smugglers Court in Salford is one of Britain's 14 immigration reporting centres. This is where illegal workers are asked to report, as well as foreign criminals and asylum seekers. Each is given a registration card that stores personal information, such as fingerprints. This means the border agency knows where people are while their cases are decided.
Fortnightly, every 2 weeks. Okay, so next week you don't need to come. Week after, you come.
In return for registration, many are given upwards of £33 a week to live
Can I
on.
have your fingerprint, please?
Today is no ordinary day at the reporting centre. Immigration officers are plotting to arrest and deport a known sex offender. They watch him arrive on CCTV. His victim was a 12-year-old girl. He thinks he's here to report as usual.
There's several warnings, violence warnings against this young man, and it's part of the contingency plans that we have police officers present. Risk assessment dictates that police officers will be present on the day. But yeah, there are warning signs, so I've got to take the necessary measures to make sure that I'm safe and all the other staff are safe.
Playing it cool, they let him enter the building. Watching him closely, they are in no rush to make a move.
He'll go into the main reporting centre to sign on, as he does every single week. When he does, I'll go and I'll approach him then and just ask him to leave the reporting centre, and I'll bring him round to the detention room. He'll be allowed legal representation, he'll be allowed to phone his family. So, and that'll be it.
Fresh from prison, he's wearing a tag.
We're just going to go into the back office now and I'm going to take the tag off.
Okay.
All right. I've got some papers to serve and I want to explain them to you, but you'll be all right.
Officer Emmett is doing his best to keep the situation calm.
Let's have a seat in here, fella. Sit yourself down over here, young man.
Morning.
Sit yourself down. Which leg are you tagged on?
That one there.
That one. When you put your foot up there, just keep still. Take your foot. Right, I mean obviously I've taken your tag off today. What I'm going to do is now is serve papers. I've been instructed to detain you today pending your deportation from the United Kingdom. What's going to happen now is one of my colleagues is going to search you. You've been searched before. That's to ensure your safety and our safety. So could you just stand up, please?
Okay. Step away from this one. Put your hands up for me. Thank you. No, put a necklace on, nothing. Just pull your pockets out. That's it. That's it. Thank you.
Do you understand what's happening? That's it. Yeah.
If it's possible to notify my legal representative.
I'll be doing that straight away. I'll be faxing everything that you've been told today and every form that you've had served on you today. I'll be faxing that in the next 5 minutes to your solicitor. Okay.
And is it possible to come or not? Because she's actually waiting for me.
Right. These gentlemen here will make that decision.
Where is she?
She's at home.
She's at home?
Yes.
We'll allow that, Gaz.
I have no objection to that.
Okay, let's open the other, Gaz. We've got a number to contact.
As soon as I get a movement, mate, I'll get it back up. Yes, hello, ma'am. Sit down. Can you sit down, please? Yes, ma'am, sit down. Okay, I want you to sign in today.
So 2 numbers.
And detaining me. They're about to take me to London now.
He served the full 4 years of his prison term. His deportation is the final part of his sentence. It's one thing removing people who shouldn't be in the country. It's quite another stopping them before they get to the UK. The port of Calais provides one of the best opportunities for illegal entry. Living rough just outside the port are hundreds of people. Their aim is to try and outfox the immigration officers. In 2007, immigration officers stopped over 12,000 people trying to cross the channel.
No sail.
Officers John Cassidy and Emma Matthews are starting their shift. They'll spend the night checking trucks just before they board ferries bound for Britain.
We're now 2:23 in the morning. We're in the shed at Calais and we're trying to find illegal entrants hiding in the back of vehicles. At the moment I'm going to use a CO2 unit probe. The probe is inserted into the vehicle where it will draw air in. The air will be analysed by this machine here. It'll tell us how much the CO2 reading is compared to the oxygen. It's an indicator. If there's a lot of CO2, it could possibly be someone inside.
Because I'm near the exhaust, when you probe at the front, it picks up the fumes when the vehicle first comes in. So you can get quite a lot of false readings. Yeah, I've got 500.
Technology is a useful tool, but so are experience and a nose for the job.
Often the people we're looking for have been sitting around campfires. They usually live a bit rough in the woods, etc. And they can smell the campfires they sit around. So that very strong burning smell that associated with a bonfire as such. Plus, cleanliness tends to go out the window slightly once they've been living rough for a few weeks. So they have a very distinctive smell about them that you can often get the minute you open the door. You've got some footmarks, haven't you?
Has he got a German passport? Has he got a German passport?
So I've got a feeling it's probably clear because the way the boxes are collapsing underneath Mark's knees, I'm sure they would have left some marks if they'd actually crawled up the same space. But it has got a strong smell of burning in here. They're a little bit weak. Sometimes you go through these, they look fairly rigid as you go across and all of a sudden they just give way underneath you. So you have to be careful. Plus it's people's loads, you know, they're expensive cargo sometimes and you try to be careful as you go across them. I think it's fairly clear under here.
No sign of any stowaways.
Haben Sie Leute da rausgeholt?
But the team check if the driver has made any stops where illegal entrants may have got in.
That's fine. Dankeschön.
That's good, Mark. I didn't know you spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Whiffed in there, didn't it? Oh, I thought there was definitely something in there.
It's very promising when you opened it, yeah. Well, bring on the next contestant then, I think.
The Nigerian sex offender has been held in a London detention centre for a week. Today, he's being deported. No one is taking any risks. 4 security guards will escort him all the way to Lagos.
Can we just come through that area there and into that search room, please?
In 2007, over 4,000 serious criminals, including murderers, sex offenders and drug dealers, were deported from Britain. On arrival in Lagos, the security guards will hand him over to the Nigerian authorities. It's now 4 in the morning, and so far the search team in Calais have not caught anyone trying to cross the border. Every week, search teams open up around 4,000 trucks looking for illegal entrants. And with an average of more than 30 fines a day, the officers are not giving up yet. The team get a lorry that's come from Belgium. They want to take a closer look. Before opening up, they photograph the lock. This proves the truck is sealed and the driver has protected his vehicle from being used as a free lift to Britain.
Got a reading with the CO2 probe at the back that was relatively high, which makes us think we ought to have a look inside. It indicates that there's a high CO2 reading. It could be nothing at all, but the fact there is a reading there means we have to check it out.
The truck's carrying sofas wrapped in plastic. The only way to find out if someone's inside is to get in and search.
I would say there is a strong smell.
The smell isn't the only clue that the truck may be carrying.
Same down here, John.
Okay, the cushions have been removed from the sofa. If you look at the rest here, they're sealed up with the cushions inside. So the minute we saw that this was outside, it means someone's been disturbing it. And obviously they're trying to hide. And what they've done is, you might see your head right down the bottom there. You'd have to come quite forward. Right down there, see his head?
Not right now, I just want to see how many there are.
Can you see that in there? Have you got him? So there's at least one, but the way these are going here, there could well be a few more. Matt, I'll be very surprised if he is the only one.
All I want you to do, mate, is just grab my legs.
Oh, we've got two, at least. Tickets? No tickets? End of the ride then,
Stay there. Stay there.
Wait.
Okay, then we'll get you out one at a time, all right? Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay. It's all right, stay there. Right.
Wait.
1 minute, yeah?
One, stay.
Maybe they cut.
Chief
yeah?
Immigration
Maybe they
Officer
cut.
Kerry
So we're
Lockett
checking.
wants to know how the stowaways got in without the driver knowing.
What we're doing is we're checking the tilt cord. This is a tilt cord that goes through all these latches here on the tarpaulin. We're just checking to see whether it's been cut and pinned, as they call it, because this was sealed. So the only way that they could possibly have got in is by cutting it and then resealing it so that the driver, when he does his checks, he wouldn't be aware that they've been able to get in.
They're very, very quiet, aren't they?
We often find that Indians are one of the most compliant personnel we find, and they do as they're told. They just sit there very quietly, a bit disappointed, but they're usually good as gold. They come out quietly, they don't give any trouble, they give you their names when you ask them. This is what we want, this is what we're here for. A night becomes a long night with just the same old lorries and no results. This reminds me what it's all about.
We'll start extracting the first one out.
Okay.
Okay.
What they've done here is they've cut through the tilt cord and they've pinned it back together and glued it as well. You will actually see that there is actually a pin in there. So it's very difficult for the actual driver to see what's gone on there. And by pulling it, because what the lorry drivers tend to do is will go along and pull the tilt cord to make sure that it's all intact. Well, of course, that's not going to give. So he'd have had no idea. Their desire to get to England is so strong, so they will do anything to actually get there, and they have people that organise this for them. So they're very skilled, people actually putting them into the lorries themselves. So they know what to do. They know what shortcuts they can take as well. So, it's a hard thing to call for the lorry drivers, really.
The team will fingerprint and photograph the two stowaways before handing them over to the French authorities. But without the documents required to send them back home, on this occasion, all the French can do is remove them from the port. Coming up, being in the wrong place at the wrong time for a customs in a cake shop.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of being an illegal entrant in the country.
It's estimated there are around 1 million illegal immigrants in Britain. One of the jobs of the UK Border Agency is to track them down and remove them from the country.
Right, this briefing is for Operation Bernards. Op Bernards concerns a visit to a sweet centre called Mushtax.
A Midlands enforcement team are preparing to raid a cake shop or sweet centre which they believe is employing illegal workers.
None of these gentlemen show up in any Home Office records as having entered the UK lawfully, and none of them show up as having made any applications for further leave to remain.
This is not the first time they've targeted the shop. Last time, the suspects escaped from the back of the building. Today, the element of surprise is key.
Stop! 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 What the back?
The team splits, with some officers heading for the accommodation upstairs. They find one man still in bed, fully clothed.
Let's go.
Shoes? Shoes in.
Don't move!
Put it down. So have you got any idea at all, any bank cards, anything with your name on?
All the Southampton.
All in Southampton. How did you get up here?
Huh?
How did you get here?
5 years.
No. How did you get here from Southampton? Did you drive? Did you get the train?
No, it come in bus.
In the bus?
Yeah, in bus.
Haven't got a bus pass or anything like that?
Got a wallet?
Huh?
Wallet?
Sorry?
A wallet. Yeah, John, we've got an Afghani chap
is
up
it?
here. Having a bit of trouble communicating with him, but he says he's in the system, so he should come up on live scan. Can I take him downstairs to get that sorted?
We need some papers. ID papers, bank card, driving licence.
All the.
So you have nothing?
Nothing here, my friend.
Yeah, I think quick check's the quickest way of doing it. He's not even sure how to spell his own name, so I'll bring him down now. Have you ever used one of these before? This doesn't store your fingerprints, it just scans them and it checks them, it sends them off, and it checks them with our systems. Okay, that's great. Take a seat again, and we'll know exactly who you are in 5 minutes.
Do you have any ID?
Everyone in the shop is questioned, even those who've just come in to buy a cake.
Oh, he doesn't work here. It doesn't matter, we're still going to speak to him.
He applied it as a visitor.
Visitor,
But visitor 6 months maximum here. 6 months to right. He arrived as a visitor 4 years ago and allegedly applied for an extension of stay, hasn't had an answer.
So what's his full name, please?
For full name, Rashid Hussain.
Thank you very much. Is there any other name?
No.
He said he came in 4 years ago as a visitor and has apparently made an application for an extension of stay.
Everyone who's legally in the UK should be on record.
Yeah.
The unfortunate customer doesn't seem to exist.
Yeah. I think he might have given bogus date of birth.
No trace. Yeah, we'll put him on the quick check unit.
If the man has applied for an extension to his visa, he should be on the Home Office database. It's bad news for the customer.
Yeah, he's come back as no match and that's nothing on the system at all. It means he's not known to us as an asylum claimant at this point.
Okay, right, if you can just listen carefully to what we're going to say. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being an illegal entrant in the country.
And now the results have come through for the Afghan worker found upstairs.
Okay, here we go. We've got a possible identification. Calais Kakasar.
Yeah.
It's not what you told me earlier.
Sorry, I have...
Came in on the back of a lorry in Dover. Is that what happened? You came in the back of a lorry? Yeah, of course it was. You have exhausted all your appeal rights to be in the UK. Okay, so I'm detaining you to effect your removal from the UK.
Just translate, please.
Okay, you are under arrest. Come on, mate.
Yeah, sorry, with me.
Okay, no. You're going to go straight to that. No, you're going to have to go straight to that.
Listen, please,
No,
this is...
No, I'm sorry, it's too late for that. You've lied to us already. You're going to have to go straight to that.
Somebody, you just look at
You hid that? Is that his? Yeah, he's hid it.
It turns out the arrested customer does have an ID card. It was under the
said he wasn't
counter.
working
He'd
here.
thrown it there when the officers turned up.
Got the date of birth the wrong way round. He told us 1st of the 5th, not 5th of the 1st.
With the man's details, the immigration team confirmed he arrived as a tourist 4 years ago. His visa expired and he stayed in Britain illegally. The customer is later released on bail to wait for his removal papers. He's told to report to his local reporting centre. He does. The worker is sent home to Afghanistan and the owner is fined £10,000. Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal. Many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes with the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of immigration. Tonight, the chicken factory full of illegal workers.
Hey! Everybody stay calm! Everybody stay very, very calm!
Rush hour at Calais.
Hey, we got another one!
Brings human traffic jams.
Okay.
3 times in, 5-10 minutes? Busy morning here.
And raising the bar at Heathrow. A law student struggles with an immigration test.
Explain to me why you don't have a return ticket.
I don't have any intention of staying here.
I didn't ask out the question. I said, why do you not have a return ticket?
8 a.m, the port of Calais, France. Hundreds of lorries are preparing to board ferries bound for Britain. But some have unwanted cargo. Illegal immigrants trying to get into the country. An Anglo-French deal in 2004 allowed UK immigration teams to be based on French soil for the first time. Their aim? To stop the clandestines, as they call them.
All the way through.
Yeah, let's find it back.
And it seems clear, this one.
Officer Bridget McCarthy has been stationed here for over 4 years.
You got your passport handy?
She has a special tool adapted from a ski pole that
Thank you
detects
very much.
breathing.
This is a CO2 probe, and in plain English, anything in there that's breathing will be picked up. And so we'll get readings. What you have to do on here is watch how the readings fluctuate and what levels. We know what limits we go to, and if we want the vehicle open, as we class it to be a high CO2 reading, we get the driver to open it up.
They find most clandestines here in the search bays. But there's a report in of a lorry that's not been checked here, and is now just metres away from boarding a ferry.
Right, we're going down to the berths. We've had a call to say that ECS have had a find of 5 inside a vehicle.
The clandestines could be just moments away from boarding.
Oh, they'll be distraught.
Bless them.
Yeah, they'll be distraught. Especially when they think they're so close.
The team work closely with the French,
Bonjour.
handing anyone they catch into their custody.
Players? Driver?
They think they're hidden deep inside this lorry load of tyres.
How far down are
We don't know. I'm going to get some ladders and get up there.
Can you just do a registration check for me, please?
But they're in there somewhere. They're in there at the back there somewhere, yeah.
We're not sure.
5,
Go
we
in,
think.
I think. We're not sure.
No one has a ladder. Only one way in.
You don't mind? By all means, yeah. I'll hold the gear in. You two, let's get in there. Brilliant. Good strong men. Up for there, Dave. We will get a ladder for him. Just tell him to stay there 1 minute. What nationalities do you think we got, Toff?
Indian.
Indian.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Got at least 6 people up here.
Excellent.
Buried amongst the tyres, the immigration officers have found more than they first thought.
Okay, he speaks English. This guy here speaks English.
7
We can do with the still shot.
You know, basically right at the very bottom, how they got down there and how they ever think they're going to get out.
Hello, guys. You okay? Where'd you get in Belgium? Belgium? Ah, Belgium. How long you been in? How long?
This morning? Yeah? What time?
And you haven't got any documents on you guys? No passports? No papers from the French? How can you get to England with no passports? Be careful. That's it. Excellent. It's not very nice. The load's very uneven. They're all over the place, and we've got a duty of care for these guys, so we've got to get them down as soon as possible. Just stand there for me, good man.
Yeah, the sailing, by all accounts, is off at 8:45 British time. So I don't know. I haven't got a clue what the time is now, but as you can see, the ferry's coming in. They're 150, 200 yards away from getting on the boat. Look, guys, look, so close.
But there's little time to hang around.
How many in the other load? 6 Indians?
Another report of more clandestines. On another lorry that's also about to board.
Go back, weren't they?
Sure, we're just waiting to confirm on the lane number. So we're going to leave this vehicle and head over here now and sort this one out as well. Okay.
While the Indian men are taken to a holding room, the team are going full steam ahead.
Bad morning, all kicks off at 8:20.
Coming up, the chicken factory employing illegal workers.
Is there anybody here that's British?
Officer Lomas gets suspicious at Heathrow. And the family who risk their lives trying to trick the breathing detectors.
So they will actually put plastic bags over their heads.
8:30 a.m. It's all go in Calais.
Bonjour.
Officer Bridget McCarthy and her team have already found 7 clandestines, metres away from boarding a ferry to Britain. Now another close call. Clandestine cargo ready to board.
We've just been called to another find here with Eritreans, and we're going to deal with that now.
She got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She got offloaded.
What we've got here is Eritrean nationals. They're not great, they're not compliant at all, so they won't be like your Indians that we've had. Hello, sir. Thank you. That's 7, this would be 8. Lane 105.
Yet more calls come. There's been another find.
We've just been told that there's another positive in lane 1, so we'll have to deal with these and we'll move on to the next one. Very busy morning.
The team are stretched, but they won't leave until every inch of the lorry has been searched.
That's it. Good man. How you doing?
Their persistence pays off.
Okay. Stay there. Don't stay there. Thank you. I think the hat might give it away.
Stay there, come on. The first vehicle over there with the tyres is unstable to move back. We're trying to get it tied up as best as possible, and we will be taking that back.
Wait. Good man.
The same thing will happen with this vehicle here. We've just been given another call to go to lane 1. 3 times in, what, 5-10 minutes? Busy morning here.
In total, they found 15 people in the last 15 minutes. And outside the port, hundreds more ready to take their place, in search of work with British employers who are ready to break the law by hiring illegal immigrants. Companies who flout immigration law can be found all over Britain, and they're not confined to the big cities. In the Midlands, over 70 law enforcement officers are preparing to raid a chicken factory they suspect are employing illegal immigrants.
Harm reduction, both nationally and...
It's 10 a.m. at the briefing for this massive operation.
It is received information which has been assessed by the UKBA and the police. It's identified up to 70 foreign nationals who are immigration offenders or suspected of being such.
Immigration officers have teamed up with the police, the Human Trafficking Centre and other government agencies. They're after illegal workers and their employers.
And we're bringing people in from former Soviet Union countries by providing them with false documentation, offering them new identities.
They're preparing for tough conditions. The chief immigration officer has been on hundreds of enforcement raids, some more dangerous than others.
It'll actually be me that enters the production floor and basically instructs all the workers to put their knives down.
We've seen approximately 58 employees enter the premises this morning. For every illegal worker, the employer could face a fine of up to £10,000.
This one. Yes. Go, go, go.
Have got a warrant to conduct a search of these premises today.
Stay there! Police! Police officers, everybody stay where you are! Everybody stay where you are! Stay where you are! Everybody stay calm! Everybody stay very, very calm!
The first job is to make the factory safe. Each worker has a razor-sharp knife, a necessary tool of the trade, but a potential hazard in an operation like this.
Okay?
Yeah, just at the minute we're securing the premises to make sure all the officers are safe. And that means getting rid of all the knives and putting all the subjects to the left and right of the building, and nothing can happen in the spur of the moment, basically.
Okay, is there anybody here that's British? If you are, then could you put your hand in the air?
You British, put your hand in your in the air. Nobody British.
The immigration team has a lot to search. They have to be fast and careful.
United Kingdom Border Agency!
Officer Carl Mason secures the top floor to seal off possible escape routes.
Excellent, fantastic. Can you take this seat for me, please?
I am. I'm just going to get my coffee and go for a fag meal.
Okay, well, you're going to have to stay in here for the time being. Basically, what's happening now is the outer cordon's on, stopping anybody running away. They're sweeping downstairs, which is going to be the hardest bit because you've got all the workers down there, and we're just sweeping these officers.
I'm not going anywhere, Doug.
That's okay, no worries.
Just trust me.
I trust you implicitly.
Andy, if you can just identify whether there's anyone British over there.
On the ground floor, the chief immigration officer and his team are trying to establish the workers' nationalities.
All right, but everybody on the production line is a foreign national, as far as you're aware. All right, thanks very much.
You stop there, fit in there for me, okay?
It would appear that every single worker bar one is a foreign national. So the next thing that we'll be looking to do is try and identify which ones of those come from an EU country. Because again, they'll be not be subject to immigration control.
So, where are you from? What country? What country are you from? What country are you from? Afghanistan, Iraq?
No,
Nationality? Romania?
Keep moving down, please.
The chief has his own method of finding information.
And did you all move up from London together then? Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Play the nice guy.
What sort of jobs did you do in London? Oh, right. So totally different then. Yeah, at the end of the day, if we don't come across too forceful, then more often than not they'll just have a chat with us, and we can get a lot more information that way. What made you come and work for a chicken company then?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know? What were you told you were going to come and do?
Just to take care of chickens, that's it.
Oh, so you thought you'd be feeding them? I think they're a bit past feeding now. He was promised a job up here. That is quite important to us in that there are several allegations that maybe people are employed by this company. Some are given to believe that they'll be doing different types of work to what they actually end up doing.
Back upstairs, Carl Mason's team have found rooms which you wouldn't expect to find in a chicken factory.
Hello, sir. Back rooms which look like they would have been chilled freezer units, chiller units, been used as accommodation for obviously people who are working on site. And just looking at the rooms, though, they're clearly not intended for this.
They find 4 small rooms, each with 2 beds, personal items, and other materials.
What appears to be sort of counterfeit pornographic DVDs, depictions of bestiality. So, I mean, they're clearly illegal, so on police advice they're going to be seized and disposed of.
So far, the operation is posing more questions than answers. 69 people turned up to work here this morning, many of them suspected of being illegal workers. Back at Calais, the morning rush hour shows no sign of slowing up.
So we've had Indians, Eritreans. Yeah. What do you think we got here?
This time, a more unusual find. Hiding in the cargo, an entire Vietnamese family.
Hello, you speak English? Any passport, documents?
Is it a family?
Thank you.
Family, yeah? All family.
In this particular load, we've got 5 Vietnamese, 3 are female. So when the escort team come, we'll get them out as soon as possible, get them into detention where they're safe.
The family had obviously heard about the breathing detectors.
No passports?
They had a plan to try and deceive them. A dangerous plan.
So they will actually put plastic bags over their heads, risk their own lives, you know, in order to get to the UK. It's tragic, really, but it happens, and you can see it here. Day in, day out, we see it.
You think you're wrapped in that bit of plastic, and your head's covered as well, your oxygen and whatever else isn't going to last very long.
Do you want to just jump down for me? Excellent. Oh, that's fine. So wait there, no problem, stay here with me.
No air holes in that at all. They're just full of air. I mean, this lady obviously looks quite drained and tired looking, doesn't she? So I think she's obviously suffering from the effects of not having much oxygen by being wrapped in one of these.
Well, I think they actually board.
This lorry was just about to go on.
That's where they go on. If you can see, you've got one just going down there now. So they were so close, so close to getting on.
For these people.
And another call comes through. People have been found on a boat. Not a ferry, but smaller and faster. In the search boat is a truck carrying expensive yachts and stowaways. The chief immigration officer sends his crew inside.
You can clearly see how they've actually got into this load. They've just basically slit the back and they've actually got inside the main body of the boat. All right. There's 4 in there at the moment, but there could be more. And obviously we're going to have to search the ones on the back of this trailer as well.
Hi there. You alright? Okay. Come out there.
What I'm going to do is make sure this ladder's secure when they get down. Okay. You be careful.
Hi there. Oh, careful. Mind your head. Okay.
Around 50 ferries leave the port of Calais every day. Each one an opportunity to reach British soil.
In 1.5 hours, 31 found in 6 separate finds. Different locations, so I think your team and our team are working very hard this morning.
Yes, it's a good job.
There were 31 clandestines found in 2 hours. They were handed over to French police. Their whereabouts now is unknown.
If you could just go up these stairs and then it's just up to the right,
It's time to process the workers at the chicken factory.
Yeah, that's fine.
Of 69 employees, 68 will be questioned about their nationality and their rights to work here.
This is your last one? That's a good. We've counted about 30 people that have admitted not being EU nationals. However, we have a lot of subjects that are Romanian, Bulgarian, and when they joined the EU, certain restrictions were put on their employment. They couldn't just come and work like a Spanish person can. They have to have registration cards to work. So what will be interesting now on the questioning upstairs will be, have you got the relevant documentation to work legally in the UK?
That's fine. Come through.
On big operations like this, the officers confiscate personal items like mobile phones.
Yeah, basically we've had incidences where we've allowed people to use a mobile phone in a factory or a house, and what they've done, they've called the friends or protest groups, and they've come round and basically it's caused a major incident where we've got protesters outside the house preventing us getting anybody out. We've arrested.
All the foreign workers are kept under close guard in the canteen.
We were going to have 10 at a time, weren't we? So we need some more. Don't we?
In the corridor next door, they set up a makeshift office to interview the workforce. With their mobile fingerprint machines and some interpreters, the detective work begins. Illegal immigrants will be arrested and face being removed from Britain. But who will stay and who will be leaving? Coming up, the heat is on at Heathrow.
It's not looking good, all right? I won't lie to you.
Suspect students and damning diaries.
He's not even mentioned his studies once, as far as I can see. It's all about money and earning money.
But who's telling the truth at Terminal 3? An identity crisis at the chicken factory as dialogue breaks down.
So we'll start again and we'll start slowly. This is your one and only chance for you to tell me the truth.
In the Midlands, immigration officers are onto something big.
Border agency have got a warrant.
They've raided a chicken factory and apprehended 68 foreign nationals, all being closely watched in the canteen. The next phase is to check names and ID against the Home Office database to see who is working here legally or otherwise. So far, they've found 14 different nationalities, and interpreters are in short supply.
Elia, there's no point in trying to tell untruths about your situation. There's nothing to be frightened about. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get one of my colleagues to see.
So what basis have you asked to stay in the UK?
The stakes are high. Illegal workers face being removed from Britain.
Your immigration status in the UK, why have you came to the UK?
Officer Andy Watt questions a Romanian. To understand him, she has an interpreter.
So you have a no national insurance card now?
Romania is new to the EU and has restrictions on it. She's allowed to be here but requires a registration card in order to work.
The next question is, how many hours do you work here every week? Okay, can I ask you, how much are you paid here per hour?
So I don't know how much is per hour, but it's around 250 per week.
200, 250 per week, yeah?
She says she's been earning between £200 and £250 a week and working 50 to 60 hours. This is less than a legal minimum wage. But if she hasn't got a registration card, she faces a hefty penalty.
Are you paying a debt off to anybody for coming to the UK? No? Okay. Has your employer here ever threatened you in any way?
Hold your breath. Well done.
Upstairs in the factory's makeshift bedrooms, officers are searching the workers' belongings.
Leave it all there a second. Okay. If you take a seat there.
I've only got one for some reason.
They've already found fake ID cards and arrests have been made. They discover the woman being paid below the minimum wage is Romanian, but she doesn't have a worker's registration card.
Because you're from Romania, okay, certain restrictions are put on Romanian nationals working in the UK. Okay, and as such, you should have a work permit, a registration card to be in the UK. Okay. Now, there's a penalty notice for you working illegally in the UK. Okay, and the penalty amount that you will be fined is £1,000. Okay. The fixed penalty will go on your name, your date of birth and your nationality. That will be you, okay? So if you give me any wrong details on your postcode or address, it doesn't matter to me, okay? The penalty goes on your name and it will follow you about until you sort that penalty out.
She's free to go and will be able to work legally as long as she gets the right papers. The canteen is full of people waiting to be interviewed. Some less worried than others. Heathrow Airport, the main gateway into Britain. Officer Steve Hassler has the job of sorting out the genuine tourists from those who want a permanent holiday.
So it's your fault? Okay.
This woman is claiming to be a visitor, but she's been flagged up on the database as having been refused entry to Britain in the past.
But you understand why we have to do this, because you've had that previous refusal. And it's always going to cause problems, unfortunately.
She's no stranger to Britain. She went to school here for
Well,
4 years.
I mean, that's what we're
until her
doing
father's
now,
work permit was cancelled and her family were removed.
Anything to declare to customs? Nothing, no like 1,000 cigarettes or nothing like that? Okay, all right. She's been refused entry, or she was refused entry, back in August of 2007. Her father was here on a work permit. It's a bit sketchy, but it was curtailed back in February of 2007. She claims now she's come here to pick up some certificates, her GCSE certificates, from the examining board. She claims that she had sent for them, paid for them, they were sent in the post, but they were never received. The only thing is she doesn't have a return ticket. Why would somebody come on a two-week visit without a return ticket? That's a little bit strange. Is it Lahore you're from, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you do there?
Studying? Yeah, I'm studying law.
Law? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Immigration law?
No, I'm trying to stay away from that.
Okay, don't worry.
Nothing personal.
No.
That's my university card.
Excellent, I'll just borrow that as well. Let me get that back.
I don't have any cash or anything.
No cash. What about credit card? No credit card? So you got nothing at all? So how are you going to survive initially?
Okay.
Your family, friends?
They'll help me out.
Her claim to be picking up certificates to take back to Pakistan doesn't quite add up.
Well, it's just this fact, she's got a single ticket, she's got no money, and she hasn't actually arranged for these certificates yet.
You see, I don't get this part because she and her entire family have been refused entry. Okay, they've previously been living here for 4 years.
Yeah.
Further to that, they appealed and went down the human rights line as well. So they're kind of well aware about how things work in the UK.
Things work, yeah.
So then to send a family member alone on a single ticket with no money, doesn't stack up.
A closer look at her luggage doesn't improve her chances.
At the back, I've just discovered some old pay statements, and I just went out to the control and spoke to her. I said, well, why have you got these certificates with you? You know, if you're just coming to get, and she said, oh, well, it's just all my documentation that I had when I was in the UK. But there's P45s as well.
Now I'm a little unhappier because these are documents that are not necessary at all
relevant
to obtain a course in Lahore.
Exactly.
It's question time for the law student. Officer Hassler wants answers.
It's not looking good, all right? I won't lie to you because I can't understand why you've not brought any money with your tickets. We're going to have to come through this way, all right? And the fact of the matter, you've got £2 on you, you've got no credit cards, you've got no return ticket, you've brought other documentation, which, to be quite frank, you shouldn't have brought with you. I can't understand why you brought it with you.
This interview will decide whether or not Officer Hassler returns her on the next flight home.
So why did they just buy you a single ticket? I can't fathom this out, because why would they buy you a single ticket and also send you their daughter halfway across the world with just £2 coins in the purse?
I don't have any intention of staying here.
I didn't ask that the question. I said, why do you not have a return ticket?
Because I didn't know what date exactly I would go back.
She said she didn't know how long she was going to be here. It was going to be 2 or 3 weeks. And I said, well, why didn't you get an open ticket? I said, we have many times people come here. And she says, oh yeah, I found about that on the aircraft. I hadn't heard of open tickets.
She didn't know about open tickets?
Didn't know about open tickets.
There's a young lady who's lived in the UK and has clearly
travelled before, but didn't know about
open tickets.
We get people coming here all the time who are coming as visitors, and if they don't have return tickets, they don't have money, they'll just be refused. It's not credible. You're coming here as a visitor, but yet, you've got no evidence of support whatsoever. You said that you're going to come here, get these GCSE certificates, but yet you've come with all this documentation, and you need that sort of stuff if you want to settle here. You've even got you're shaking your head, but in your wallet you had your national insurance card, which you had your national insurance number in. Why would you bring that to the UK?
I just brought my wallet with me.
But then we start going into things like her previous bank statements here, mobile phone accounts, in previous interviews with Job Centre Plus. Certainly with regard to her documentation, she has literally packed up everything, put it into a folder. It's as if she's picked up her life, brought it here. And I think we've got to remember this. I mean, the family had lived in the UK since 2002. The father had been working here. She's had most of her informative years here. Like I said, she's been a student here. She'd got a job. She'd taken her exams. And then all of a sudden, for no fault of her own, the rug's pulled out from under her feet and she's forced back to a country that she probably hasn't lived in for a number of years. And all of a sudden, she's left, you know, thinking, well, where's it all gone? Okay, just wanna, right. The decision is that you're going to be refused entry, okay? You're coming in as a visitor, but you've got all this documentation which pertains nothing to why you want to come here regarding your education. Now, if you want to come back to the UK, you can, but what I would advise you to do is get an entry clearance visa, okay? You can still go and ask for a visit visa or a student visa, whatever you want to do, but rather than you having to come here and go through all this, it means you go to the embassy, you put all the evidence in front of them, and you allow them to make the decision. I feel sympathy for her because I know what the impact on her is going to be. But at the end of the day, we've got to look at what we're doing with regard to, you know, the border control and making sure people coming here are coming here for a genuine reason and not ending up doing something else. For this time, I'm afraid you're not going to be allowed in.
For us to say she's accepting this notification.
At the chicken factory, the investigation is in full swing.
So we'll start again, we'll start slowly. This is your one and only chance for you to tell me the truth.
They're finding more fake documents.
Is this some sort of joke?
More resistance to the immigration officer's questions.
I'm going to say it in English. This lady's going to say it in Romanian, okay? Either way, you'll understand it. If you don't start answering the questions, I'll arrest you. All right?
A pattern is emerging. A lot of workers claiming to be from Romania. The immigration team isn't convinced.
It's definitely a trend here in that an awful lot of what we believe are Pakistani nationals have produced Romanian identity documents.
I'm more Romanian than you.
What we'll be seeking to identify is where they got those documents from. Perhaps they're linked to the employer and perhaps they're not. But at the end of the day, that's a lot of interviews that we've got to do to establish whether that's a fact or not.
So you say you're Romanian?
Yeah, Romanian.
How did you qualify to be Romanian? When did you actually...
This man says he's from Romania and his work papers are up to date.
Are your mother and father Romanian?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were born in Romania, were they? Yeah.
Officer Mason gives the Romanian a simple geography test.
Okay, tell me which countries are next to Romania?
Moldova.
Bulgaria, yeah. Well done, yeah. Any more? Any more countries next to Romania?
There are 5 countries that border Romania.
I won't give you any more details because I don't think it's going to be weird.
And no records of this man the right to work.
You are not Romanian.
I'm not Romanian.
I know you're not Romanian. Yes, I know. So, what's your nationality?
What?
Where are you from? What country?
What country?
Yeah.
I do not understand.
Okay.
My English is not in...
Your English was brilliant when we started. Do you speak Romanian?
Yeah.
Right. You wait there. I'll get a Romanian interpreter.
You?
I will get a Romanian interpreter.
Your spider sense is tingling.
Yeah.
The next test.
Can we just try once
Can
more,
he speak Romanian
just so
to
we
an
don't take
interpreter
over.
on
I'm
the
just trying to
phone?
explain to him in English. Marion, that gentleman speaks Romanian. You say you're a Romanian. You've only been here 1 week. I'm from Romania. Please speak to him.
Noroc. Bilal Kore. Yeah.
Just making noises.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Okay, sir, I'm very sorry to have wasted your valuable time yet again. Well, thank you very much for your help. Okay, sir, cheers, thank you, bye. Okay, that's a Romanian interpreter. He says you're not speaking Romanian, he says you're speaking, well, nothing really. Marion, I know Marin's not your real name, but let's just stop, all right? Stop all the lies now, okay? I'll give you this one opportunity to start telling me the truth. Where are you from?
No, you check identity.
Okay, no, I'm not bothered about your identity card. You've told me you're Romanian. You can't tell me the capital. You can't tell me what monetary units are used over there, okay? At the moment, all you're doing is getting yourself into trouble, okay? So what nationality are you? Don't insult me and tell you're Romanian.
No, I am not.
Okay, I believe you've entered the UK illegally. What's going to happen now is my colleague's going to arrest you. You'll be taken to a police station where you'll be interviewed further. Andy, can you arrest this guy, please?
Of the 69 employees, 19 were arrested, 4 have been removed. A further 10 are expected to follow once the paperwork is ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
The employer is fined £60,000. 5 were charged with possession of false documents, and the man who claimed to be Romanian has since absconded. Coming up, 2 passengers, but only 1 will be allowed into Britain.
So you're going to start telling me the truth now, or we're going to keep going around the houses?
Heathrow, Terminal 3. Immigration officer Kay Lomas is on the desk screening passengers.
Hello, sir. Where are you travelling from today?
From LA.
Okay. Do you live there or?
I live here.
And what do you do here?
I'm a student.
Tell me the whole title of the course.
Yeah, it says postgraduate.
Yes.
Certificate Business Administration.
Right.
It's MA. It's a Masters of Business Administration.
Well, there's a difference between a postgraduate certificate in business administration and a master's in business administration. Which one is it?
It's a postgraduate certificate in business administration.
Is that a master's course?
It's master's course.
It can't be.
Okay, I got a letter. I found it.
Yes.
When are you returning? 17th April.
I am quite wary of some students in the UK. As we know, it's very expensive to be a student in the United Kingdom. The fact that he was a bit mixed up about what he was studying, whether it was a master's or a postgraduate certificate, I don't understand why that would be an issue.
Okay, so we're about to take your photograph. You want to look directly into this camera here for me, please.
Officer Neil Newbury is questioning another student whose story doesn't add up.
The immigration officer asked you some questions about your course, and you did not answer them sufficiently well for him to be convinced that you're studying in the UK.
He's already carried out a bag search. He found a diary with some revealing entries.
He's talked an awful lot about work, and he's not once mentioned his modules, his studying, any of his tutors. He's not mentioned any of them, which is quite strange if you're here to study. Sainsbury's is going down every day. He's doing only 2 or 3 days in Sainsbury's. Now he's having to find a second job.
How many bags
2
do you
men,
have?
both claiming to be students of business administration. To find out if they're genuine, officers Lomas and Newbury will have to do their homework.
Can you tell me what you've learnt in human resource management?
What I study?
What you have studied?
There is a 2 part. One is employee and another one is employer.
Yes.
Okay. And if something wrong with the employee and employers, they need to advise one HR manager or some HR consultant to get the sorted out these things.
And what does the HR manager do? What is their role?
What is the role?
And where do you study?
Central England. I have too much.
You know that I didn't sleep last night. What should I say? I forgot everything. I don't know. What should I say?
So you're saying you can't remember where your college is?
No, I know that. I know.
HR rules means for a company, the managing full staff.
Tell me about financial reporting.
A good result for this student. Not so good for this one.
Okay, I just want to show you something from your book in your bag. Dated 18th of February 2008. I know you wrote it down, yeah? And see what I've underlined? 18th February 2008. I'm doing only 2 and 3 days in Sainsbury's. Now I'm finding a second job. So you're going to start telling me the truth now, or we're going to keep going around the houses? Were you working in Sainsbury's 2 or 3 days a week?
Can I explain you personally? But not in front of camera, I'm telling you personally.
Slowly he started to open up to me and explain what he's done. His family are in financial difficulty back in India. That their house was being repossessed by the bank. And I do have some sympathy with him in that situation. It's mainly the enforcement of the rules that we're concerned about, unfortunately, and in this case you have broken the rules, the immigration rules, so for that reason your visa is going to be cancelled today. I'm going to return you back to India on the next available flight, which is this evening at 9:25.
Officer Newbury's passenger has failed to get into Britain. It's a different story for Officer Lomas.
Oh yes sir, he's a student. We are happy to readmit you to the United Kingdom today.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you so
okay
much.
sir, that's okay. Good luck with the rest of your studies and your job.
Yeah, thank you.
It's nice when you've done your inquiries and at the end of it you're satisfied with the result and you know that the right thing has been done. He is a genuine student and I'm happy that, you know, that I've done my inquiries and I'm satisfied with that and he can come in.
As this case closes, more flights arrive and hundreds more passengers fill the arrivals hall. It's back to the desks of the immigration officers and back to work.
25,000 men and women work for the UK Border Agency. At home and abroad, their job is to seek out the lawbreakers and imposters who don't have a right to be here. They are the UK Border Force. Tonight, the man at Heathrow who wants to see his husband.
You met your partner in October 2007 in London.
In 2007.
How did you do that if you weren't in the country?
The restaurant in Stoke with a secret door.
Give the wall a push. And we've got a hidden bedroom.
And wedding bells in Glasgow are silent when a man is arrested on his big day.
Imran! They arrested me!
The UK attracts a constant stream of overseas visitors. Many come looking for work and a better life. Some people try to beat the system to stay in the country longer than they should. One method is to exploit the entitlements that come with marrying a British citizen. Today in Birmingham, Chief Immigration Officer Kevin Jolly and Immigration Officer Tina Ooligan are on their way to a registry office. They're about to arrest a Jamaican man on his wedding day.
Who's been an overstayer since 2001. He did ask for approval for the marriage, but was informed at that time that he was not lawfully in the country. He has received a letter. In the letter, it's absolutely clear that he should return to Jamaica and obtain a correct visa, and he hasn't done it.
When the man contacted the Home Office seeking permission to marry, he revealed himself as an illegal immigrant. It's been 8 years since his visa ran out. Now he lives with a British woman, her 3 children, and their 6-month-old baby.
Obviously, his intention is to, having obtained the marriage to a British citizen, submit some form of application so that he doesn't have to go back to Jamaica. But this is unfair to all the other people who do go back to their countries, do request visas, do get visas, pay the fee, and then return lawfully.
Although the groom is in the country illegally, his relationship is genuine. The Home Office granted his British wife approval to marry, but explained he still needed to legalise his immigration status, or he would face arrest.
That's him, that's him.
He hasn't gone back, and thanks to his application, the team know exactly when and where to find him.
Yeah, do you want to come with us, sir? If you could just come over to the vehicle with me, please. You've received your certificate of approval for marriage, but with that certificate of approval, you was given a letter stating that it wasn't leave to remain. Do you understand? You can now be arrested under Schedule 2 of the Immigration Act. So you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. If you come with us now, we'll explain everything, OK? I understand it's your wedding day, but we need to have a chat. So if you could get in the back for me, please, watch your head.
Officer Jolly has to break the news to the guests that there'll be no wedding day.
All right. I'm very sorry to have caused this problem, but unfortunately the gentleman needs to be spoken to about his immigration status.
To the immigration
But
office at
hasn't he got
Solihull.
documents to say everything is in order?
No, he hasn't.
No.
She was obviously stunned. Here she is turning up expecting her friend to be married, a particularly joyous occasion, and it's all gone wrong.
You were sent a letter saying that because you was being granted the certificate doesn't automatically give you leave to remain in the UK.
Why are you taking me? No, I don't understand.
Because you're now under arrest under Schedule 2, which means that you could be removed from the UK.
They're written to me saying that they received my application.
For the certificate of marriage, that's all.
Yeah.
You haven't made any further applications to extend your stay. And because you've already overstayed, it makes it harder for you to get the application now.
Yeah, but I did get it.
You haven't been granted any further leave. So you're still an overstayer, which means you're not legally present in the UK.
Yeah, well, the Home Office grant me the permission to get married. I've been through that process.
Yeah, because your fiancé is a British citizen. We can't stop a British citizen choosing who she marries. But what we need to do is make sure that as the groom, you've got the right leave. And at the moment, you haven't got that.
That doesn't make sense to me because I sent for an application, yeah? You could have come to me there and then and find me.
When the application was sent out, the certificate of approval, there was a letter attached to that stating that you are liable for detention and removal, and I have a copy of that on here. Listen, nothing's set in stone at the moment. Let's go back and we'll have a chat, okay?
You have to make sure your status in the UK is lawful. It's your responsibility, and in the end, when circumstances like these occur, it's your responsibility. It's nobody else's fault, it's yours.
It doesn't look good for the groom. He'll have to convince officers Jolly and Hooligan that he's made every effort to sort out his immigration status. Otherwise, instead of going home to his fiancée and children, he could be detained and sent back to Jamaica. Coming up, the enforcement team tests a student on his 5 years of studies.
What qualifications have you got? Just her.
And wedding day blues in Glasgow.
Just one word with my brother, I will leave. Yeah, what I did wrong, you tell me first.
In Stoke-on-Trent, an enforcement team are getting ready to go out on a raid. They're targeting a business they believe is employing illegal workers.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this afternoon's jobs. The visit will take place at a superb Chinese takeaway just down the road called Hu Fook. The gentleman that's said to be there, he entered the UK some time ago, has applied for 3 extensions to a student visa, all of which have been granted, the latest one being 2 months ago. We have no record of him ever attending a course in the UK, and he and his wife are said to live at these premises.
Good luck. If the team find the man living at the takeaway here in Stoke, they'll want to know why. He's supposed to be studying at a college in London, 130 miles away.
Be ready to exit vehicles ASAP.
The takeaway is owned by the student's wife. She has applied to stay in the UK as her husband's dependent.
Evening.
Hello.
Hello, miss. I'm from the UK Border Agency,
Yes.
Immigration Service.
Okay.
Are you in charge? Are you in charge?
Yes.
You are.
If the husband is here under false pretenses, then so is his wife.
Rushy.
Officers spot the husband in a car outside the takeaway.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
And they find another Chinese man working in the kitchen.
Nothing to worry about. Just come to college.
Come and have a quick chat.
All right, don't worry.
You don't know English.
You don't know English.
Can you tell him just to come and sit in the front so we can have a quick look?
The team want to make sure each person in the restaurant is entitled to work in the UK. They start by questioning the husband.
Okay. How long you been in the UK now?
Nearly 5 years.
And what's your immigration status in the UK?
Just student. I just come to see my babies. Thanks.
The man and his wife have 3 children, 2 of them born in the UK, but it's news to the team. The couple have not let the Home Office know about their growing family.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand why you are coming here.
We've just come, part of our role, immigration, is to check employees that the right permissions to work have been applied for.
Yeah, me. It's me.
You're the employer?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Have you got a list of your employees?
Yeah, you want the paper. You want to see the paper.
Absolutely brilliant.
As a student, the husband is allowed to work 20 hours a week, but he must be able to prove he's going to college.
So you're studying in the UK, yeah? Where do you study?
London.
And what's the name of the college?
I just been changed because I finished.
Well, you must know where you're studying.
Eh?
You must know the name of the college you're studying at.
Yeah.
And what is it?
I think I can't remember the name because I just changed.
So where were you studying before?
Just same college. No, same in London.
Yeah, what's the name of that college?
The business college.
And what was that address? What road was it on?
Oxford.
Oxford Road?
No, Oxford Street.
Oxford Street? And what was the post in London? What was the postcode?
I can't remember the postcode.
How long did you study there for?
Just 1.5.
1.5 years? And what qualifications have you got? None at all?
No.
Okay. Just take a seat for us, please.
The man appears to have little in the way of knowledge or qualifications to show, but he has some papers he believes will prove that he's a genuine student.
It's all right if I have a look at this. I'm just looking for proof that he's been studying. At the moment, I don't believe he's been studying. We get a lot of bogus students coming up. As you say, they're studying in London, working all the way up here and doing no studying whatsoever.
Even though the student can remember little about his studies, he's in the clear. He's provided a receipt for his tuition fees and proof that he's renting a flat near his college in London.
You're not going to be a big multi-millionaire businessman after all.
If he were to be a fictitious student, then he's spending an awful lot of money putting a pretty elaborate plan together. So as far as we're concerned, he's legitimate. He's here today to see his wife. They've got 3 children. His plan is to stay here for another 18 months on a course and then return to China.
The student may be genuine, but the team haven't finished at the takeaway just yet. In a passageway next to the kitchen, one of the officers has made an interesting discovery.
Showing you, just walking past, chair in front of what looks like a wall, move the chair out of the way, give the wall a push, and we've got a hidden bedroom. Obviously somebody's sleeping, well, living in here. Telly, bed, clothing, etc. Quite well hidden. You could quite easily walk past it and not see that there's a room here. Makes you think that obviously the person that's in here wants to remain hidden from anybody visiting the premises.
Next, the spotlight will be on the man found working in the kitchen. He'll have to prove he has the right to be in Britain. In Birmingham, the Jamaican man who's just been arrested on his wedding day has some explaining to do. His bride was granted permission to marry him, but he still needed to legitimize his status by returning to Jamaica to reapply for a visa.
At this moment in time, as far as we're aware, you are not lawfully in the country. You are an overstayer. It is an offence.
If you grant me the certificate of approval, so you could have refused me there and then I say, okay, no, we cannot grant you permission on the basis that you're an overstayer, so you need to do this and you need to do that. Why put me through that? Grant me the permission and then at the same time pick me up from there. That does make sense to me.
Another alternative is to come and take you from your home, but the situation is you may well be there with children. Now, what happened today, you have to admit, was the most gentle way of taking you out of the situation. Why didn't you just go back to Jamaica a long time ago, save yourself the money and all of this nonsense, get a visa and come back with a visa?
But it's not really just one thing to say, okay, this was the reason, definitely reason. But things just get dragged and dragged and dragged, and I say, okay, there's that you need to do something about yourself now. And I started to do it.
Sure.
And I did it. And luckily, it was granted to me. And I said, well, God, I must be lucky.
Yeah.
But you don't feel so lucky.
Yeah, no problem. All right, nice to have met you. I'm sorry it was under these circumstances, okay? And all the best in the future.
He's very compliant, truly hurt by the way the situation's gone. But it's something that's going to have to be done, so it's better to do it now rather than later.
After 2 weeks in detention, the man is taken to Gatwick Airport to be put on a flight back to Jamaica. It's a far cry from the dreams he had on the day of his wedding.
We make all the plans. Can you imagine that? Just imagine that. So we got food, we got the art, we got music. Everything was being prepared. And everything just fell flat. So it's just a waste in every aspect that you look at it. And it never has to be like that. I didn't want to go back like this. I don't mind going back. I know going back would have been a part of the process, but not like this.
Not all attempts to use marriage as a way of staying in the UK are based on genuine relationships. Today, a team in Glasgow are targeting a man they believe has gone one step further in his search for permanent residency. Officer Ian Stewart and Officer Jeff Hunter are planning to intercept the man moments before he gets married.
Today we're off to visit a registrar's office in Glasgow, where we are going to investigate an alleged sham marriage. And we've received intelligence which tells us that a gentleman is going to marry a British lady, and he may not be entitled to be in the country and therefore not entitled to get married.
Are you ready? Guys, we'll be downstairs.
Today's groom is a Pakistani man who came into Britain on a student visa in 2008. But his history with the UK border agency is not good and suggests he'll try anything to stay in the country.
The target has been in the UK previously, claimed to be a Bangladeshi national, and he was claiming asylum, and his asylum application was refused, and he was actually removed back to Dhaka in Bangladesh. So his own credibility is in doubt.
The couple have no idea about the extra guests planning to surprise them on their big day. The officers must keep their presence a secret in case the groom gets cold feet and runs.
The plan is no one can actually see where we're situated. Mr. Khan, his wife and the witnesses will be brought in. We'll be here. This is where we'll make our arrest and make further inquiries.
The wedding party has arrived, expecting to go straight into the marriage ceremony. But the team have arranged for just the groom to be brought into the room where they're ready and waiting.
Hello, sir. You'd like to come in here for me, please?
Yeah, of course.
Yep, hello. I'm an immigration officer from the United Kingdom Border Agency. So I'm arresting you as a suspected immigration offender. You do not have to say anything, but anything you do see may be noted and later given in evidence. For the moment, sir, for your safety and for mine, I'm going to place handcuffs on you. So I'd like you to put your hands like that for me, please. Out of you in front of you like this.
I will not do till I see my lawyer because...
no, at the moment, sir, just put your hands up here for me. All right?
What I did
just keep them,
wrong?
that'll be explained to you, sir, okay?
You're under arrest at this moment in time as a suspected
I got all the legal documents with me.
Yes, listen carefully.
Do you understand?
I can't believe that. I mean, I got all the
Sir.
legal documents with
Do you
me.
understand?
I come
Put
through
your
all
hands
the
like that.
home office process.
Yes, just take a seat over here for me, Mr. Khan. All right? Right, so, can you tell me why you're here today?
Because I'm here to marry with my fiance
Okay, how long have you known your fiancée for?
since August 2007.
And where did you first meet?
We met in the market town center first time, and we started dating each other.
Why are you marrying now, sir? Why are you getting married now?
Because I've been this lady from the last 2 years,
Mhm.
okay, and she's very caring, and we've been friends together first, and then we realized that we fell in love, right? And she asked me one day, and he said,
She asked you?
Yes. I said, you
Mhm.
really like me, you really love me? I said, yes, I do really like you, love you, and I really care about you, and she did as well.
All right, Mr. Khan, is this a last-ditch attempt for you to stay in the United Kingdom by marrying a British citizen?
Well, look, to marrying a British citizen is not a crime, is not illegal, right?
I didn't ask you that,
No,
Mr. Khan.
if
Listen to the
somebody-
question.
If somebody fell in love with me and I fell in love with you and we cohabiting each other, right, is not a crime, right?
Have you paid just to marry you?
No, I did not pay any single penny. You can ask her right now, she is there.
All right, Mr. Khan, what we're going to do now is we're going to take you to a vehicle which is parked at the back of this building.
Can I see my lawyer for 1 word? 1 minute?
You'll get a chance to possibly speak to him later.
You can do that later, okay?
No, I like to just have one single word.
No, just listen carefully, sir. I'm trying to explain to you.
Otherwise you can use force or beat me.
Well,
and I'll be screaming.
To this officer till he explains everything to you.
Whatever,
okay?
you kill me, you beat me, but I want to have...
Sir, please, there's no need for that kind of talk. We're not going to kill you, we're not going to beat you. I'm trying to explain to what's going to happen. Listen, Mr. Khan, listen.
If you're under arrest, you do as we said just now, okay?
My got a mother heart condition, right? Okay? You have to inform my brother at least.
Well, sir,
we will...
No, first you go and tell you're arresting me. No, you first you go and tell
Stand up for
arresting me.
Stand up.
Right, Mr. Khan, if you do this nice and quietly, then your mother won't get upset, will she?
You will be given the chance at the police station to ask who you want informed, okay?
All right.
And you will speak to yourself.
And we will tell everyone here what's happening.
Imran!
Let's go.
So that's enough. Don't shout.
Imran! 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 They're arresting me! Imran!
Excuse me.
यार किसानों से बात करो यार.
Excuse me, please. No. Upstairs, you're not allowed up here.
Do this properly, sir.
I don't care who you are, just so you're not allowed up here.
Just 1 word with my brother, I will leave.
Not here, at the police station.
Yeah, what I did wrong, you tell me first.
We will tell you.
Explain everything to you.
Can you explain this immigration here? What I go through all the documents, paperwork here.
Explain everything to you at the police station, okay? You need to calm down. Okay? Everything will be explained to you there.
Just sit in the car, sir. Just turn around, head down, keep your head down. That's it. Just sitting there.
We're going to go back up now. We're going to speak to the wife. We'll speak to the brother as well and let them know, fill them in with the circumstances. But we'll speak most importantly with her first of all and see what the story is that she's got to give us. Okay.
We're now going to interview the lady, so we'll see what happens here.
Well, thanks you tell the truth.
Take a seat here, man.
Okay.
The team want to know what part the bride has played in planning the wedding. Will she back up the man's claims that they've been in a loving relationship for 2 years and that the proposed marriage is genuine?
That's secret.
Coming up, uncovering a secret life in the Stoke takeaway.
Narnia.
And tall tales revealed at Heathrow.
You've either lied to the Home Office so you can get your certificate, or you're lying to me now. They can't both be true. You can't have been in Brazil and met him.
At the Ho Fook takeaway in Stoke, the enforcement team are questioning the kitchen worker.
If he has a passport? No. Thank you.
Chief Immigration Officer Sean Flaherty uses an interpreter on the end of a phone.
Hello. Claim asylum. Okay.
The man, who says he's an asylum seeker, claims he's just here as a guest of his friends and helping out a little in return.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
He has a letter from the Home Office about his asylum claim, which he keeps in his room.
What's this? Secret.
The hidden cubbyhole next to the kitchen.
Narnia. Fantastic, thank you.
He claims the letter confirms he has permission to work.
These are yours.
Officer Flaherty spots a second letter the man is less keen to hand over.
This one here, yeah, which you've quite rightly said, they will say there's no restrictions on you taking employment back in 1998.
Yeah.
But then, back in March 2008, you are not allowed to work.
Yeah, no working. I know, no working.
Okay, right.
I only come here,
I accept that you're not getting paid, but in place of getting paid, you're given food and board. So it's work. Still work.
Officer Flaherty checks the Home Office records.
When was he refused asylum?
The worker has never reported since claiming asylum in 1998, and his claim has been refused. He is listed as an absconder and is not allowed to work.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Zhou, you're under arrest. Okay?
Yeah.
You're a failed asylum seeker. Yeah? You have no leave to be in the United Kingdom. Okay? So you're now under arrest. Do you understand that?
No, that's it.
No, okay. I'll break it down nice and simple. You're under arrest. You shouldn't be working, you shouldn't be in the country. You haven't complied with immigration so far. You've rendered yourself in this position at the moment, okay? You're going to come with me, we'll have a word outside. Okay, my colleague's going to search your room. Alright? Okay, come to me. He has shown a continuing, blatant disregard for the immigration laws. Come here seeking our protection, and he hasn't done anything to kind of help himself or us. So he's under arrest now.
The team know that detaining and removing Chinese illegal immigrants is not straightforward. They will almost certainly have to release this man on bail.
The problem we've got is the length of time it takes us to get a travel document for a Chinese person. It can be up to 12 months, so it's almost certain that we're not going to get bed space for him for 12 months. Somehow we have to persuade him that he should report to us and that he can't work during that time.
The takeaway owner is legitimately in the UK as a dependent of her husband, the student. But she has been employing an illegal worker and could face a fine of up to £10,000.
You have to write to them. Okay, let me just explain what's happened. This gentleman here, he's not allowed to work.
He just helping me.
Helping's working, I'm afraid. He's not allowed to help.
He's also helping my children. Is he say working for my...
He's not allowed to work in the UK.
So where he go?
He's going to be detained now. We're taking him to a police station where we'll interview him further.
Okay, man, your head. Go to the front. Take all your seats.
The team regularly find illegal immigrants who attempt to prolong their stay in the country by putting in baseless asylum claims. In 2008, the UK border agency sent 13,000 failed asylum seekers back home.
Asylum's there for a reason. Asylum's there to offer protection to people who genuinely need it. People claim asylum and then don't cooperate with us, and it makes a mockery of the asylum system. And it's, frankly, it's an insult to the people who actually are genuinely seeking asylum. He hasn't played by the rules, and I think he should be detained long term. Why don't we get a passport for him? That's my opinion. Right.
There is not enough room to detain all illegal immigrants picked up in enforcement raids, especially when it can take a year to get hold of their travel documents.
Just get you to the door and then come back, mate.
After being interviewed, the man is released on bail. The owner of the takeaway will be fined up to £10,000 for employing an illegal worker. In Glasgow, a team are investigating what they believe is a sham marriage. They have arrested a Pakistani man who was minutes away from tying the knot with his British bride. He says they've been in a steady relationship for 2 years and are very much in love. Now it's the bride's turn to explain how she came to be betrothed to the man she knows as Jamie Rose.
How long have you known this man?
August 2007.
August 2007. Where did you meet him? In a pub, in a club, in a restaurant, in a house?
In a shop. In a car. It's one of my friend's pals, so I met him through a friend, and his friend brought him through to meet me in his car.
In a car. So that was the first time you met, was in a car?
First when we met him.
Was that in a car park or was that just in the street?
Just in the street.
And what was the purpose of this meeting? Why did your friend bring this man to meet you?
Just some about talking to me and asking the things to do, like if I was getting money, like benefits and all that.
Did he mention giving you any money at all for the purpose of possibly getting married? Especially if you tell the truth.
No, he's never. He's offered me, he's gave me money in that, but...
How much money has he been giving you?
£20.
What, is that every day, every week, every month?
Every week.
Gives you £20 every week. And what's that for?
That's just to help me out if I'm stuck with stuff like for gas and the like and that.
Whose idea was it to get married?
It wasn't mine.
Alright, did you fill in a form to get married? Because I've seen a form with all your details on, your name, your mother, your father, and it's signed by you.
I signed it, but I never filled the form in.
So you didn't fill the form in, it was filled in for you by...
I don't know who by.
But it was filled in when you saw it.
I filled in when I saw it.
Did Jamie not tell you what it was for?
No, Jamie just said sign your name there, that's what I got told today.
And has he ever mentioned to you about getting married so that he can stay here in the United Kingdom, stay in Scotland? Have you ever discussed that?
He mentioned something like that. He asked me, but I never, because he only mentioned something about, have you ever been married before? And I told him, no, I've not been married before. But he mentioned about married and that, but he never mentioned anything about getting married to me or anything.
So if Jamie had said to you, come on, let's go to Glasgow, we're going to get married, what would you have said to him?
I would have said no.
Have you ever had any intention of getting married to Jamie Rose?
No, just friends.
Do you believe now that he's deceiving you so that he can remain in the UK?
Yeah, I know. If I knew all this, I would never have done it.
Okay. I'll take you back through. Okay.
I don't know what she thought she was coming to sign. She thought she was coming to sign papers, and she had no intention of getting married, didn't know she was coming to get married. Why else he would come to a registry office, I'm not 100% certain, but she was certainly in no mind to get married today, so it kind of it puts the mockers on his explanation of why he's here today.
The team are satisfied the man's attempt to get married today was a scam to stay in the UK. And they caught him just in time.
If he did get married today, then ultimately he would have been in a far stronger position with the Home Office to submit any applications to remain in the UK, because he would have obviously been saying that he was in a marriage that was subsisting, and it would be harder for us with any applications that he put in to reject that.
The man is held in detention, awaiting his removal back to Pakistan. The team accept that the bride was an innocent victim of his scam. At Heathrow's Terminal 3, a Brazilian man has arrived to see his British civil partner. They got married the last time he was in the UK, and now he wants to spend 6 months with his husband. Chief Officer Matt Dyson asks Officer Lee Salih to investigate because the passenger claims to have another important reason for his visit. He's on police bail and due to appear in court.
He says he was arrested after visiting a sick Greek friend in a hotel who had overdosed on cocaine. He says that he was not using the drug, but he was arrested anyway.
Okay.
We need to speak to the police. How serious, is the investigation into him, or is it something that they would let slip and just not be that bothered about if he wasn't actually here?
Yeah.
If it is quite serious, is he somebody that we should be admitting anyway?
To find out, Officer Lee needs to know more about the passenger's brush with the law.
Let's phone the police.
Well, I'm not until Monday. You on Monday?
I understand there are some charges pending, and I'd be grateful if someone can give me a call back as to whether or not he's required to attend a hearing on the Friday the 1st of May. Thanks very much. Belgravia police station is busy.
While Officer Lee waits to hear if the police want to pursue a case against the passenger, her own investigation throws up serious questions about the man's immigration history.
He was actually arrested in the UK on a drugs charge in March 2009. According to his passport, he entered the UK in April 2008. As a visitor to the UK, he's only allowed to stay 6 months. So if he entered the UK in April 2008 and was still here in March 2009, he's overstayed by almost 5 months.
Officer Lee checks the passenger's earlier visits to see if he's made a habit of overstaying his visa. She finds the evidence she's looking for in his application to marry his civil partner.
And he confirms in this letter that he met him in August 2007 in a London nightclub. The problem we have with that is he was stamped in as a visitor in January 2006. There are no other entry or exit stamps for the UK in that period of time, so he must have overstayed here because he's only supposed to stay 6 months. He should have left the UK in the summer, but he was still here a year and a half later. Bless him.
It appears the passenger has twice stayed longer in Britain than he should have.
Okay, do you want to come through?
Officer Lee wants to see if there's anything in his bags to reveal what he's doing in the country this time.
Did you pack the bags yourself?
Yeah.
Did anybody help you pack? Are you aware of the contents? You know everything that's in your bags?
Yeah, I know everything.
And why were you arrested? Why did the police arrest you here? Why did they arrest you?
My friend bought a hell, he was drunk in a hotel and they called me for helping him. And I was helping him, asked to the emergency, but I was the phone in the hotel, so I did say the hotel, my friend used the drug. And then the hotel called the police.
You weren't using the drugs then?
No.
No?
I drink a lot of Jack Daniels, I love it.
You like your Jack Daniels?
I love
What do you drink it with?
Huh?
What do you have it with? Coke?
Coke.
We're going back upstairs, yeah? Yeah.
Officer Lee has learned a little more about the passenger's adventures with the police. She has also found something to suggest that he might be here to work.
And then I'll interview you. He was carrying a lifeguard qualification ID. Is he doing that here? Because he's not supposed to. He's not supposed to work. My suspicion is he's working here as a lifeguard. How he's doing that, I don't know. Whether he's got some other form of ID that he presents, an ID card from another country maybe.
It's time to find out how the passenger has beaten the system for so long.
Mr. Toledo, come out, sir.
And to discover what he's up to this time.
Okay, so if you can just take a seat there for me. So why do you have the lifeguard ID?
Because I did the course. I did try to work for lifeguard when I finished the course, but no, it's no work for me.
Okay, apart from your Brazilian passport, do you have any other nationality passport or identification document?
No. I did it before. When I come in 2006, I was making for work, but no, I didn't take the. I got the prison for this for 1 month and a half.
What document were you using?
It's Italy.
Passport?
Yeah.
How did you get that? Where did you get it from? Who from? Yeah.
Okay.
Who from?
I meet somebody in the restaurant. He say to me, you don't have visa? No. So I make the passport for you. And I say, how much? £300. And me,
Okay, where did you go to prison? In England?
Yeah, in England, yeah.
If the passenger wants to come into the country to see his husband, he'll have to convince Officer Lee that his travels have been legitimate since going to prison for using a fake Italian passport. At Heathrow, the story given by the passenger from Brazil is not adding up. Both his arrest for possessing drugs and meeting his husband happened during periods he should not have been in the country. Officer Lee suspects he's been using a fake Italian passport to get in and out of Britain.
I'm going to start from the beginning of your first time here, okay? How long did you say you would stay?
Couple 6 months, and I did stay 6 months.
So when did you leave the UK that year? When did you leave?
When did you leave the UK?
So you came in July.
Yeah.
When was the next time that you entered the UK?
It's 2008.
That's a lie. You claim in your letter that you wrote to the Home Office that you met your partner in October 2007 in London.
In 2007.
How did you do that if you weren't in the country?
Which day? But which day did you apply for
How could you have met him if you weren't in the country?
I didn't meet him in 2008. I didn't meet him in 2007.
Well, that's what you told the Home Office.
You're wrong. I'm not liable about that.
You've either lied to the Home Office so you can get your certificate, or you're lying to me now. All right? One of those things, they can't both be true. You can't have been in Brazil and met him. You say in that letter you were together from October 2007.
2007.
Yes. Were you in the UK in 2007? Yes or no?
Yes, in 2007. But I did go to Brazil and I come back, but I don't know which month I'm coming back, you know, because I come to the Italy. I really don't lie. So try to me, serious. I try to remember things. That's the situation.
Right, my next question is then, how did you enter the UK? What passport?
Brazilian.
Where's the entry stamp?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have it.
Why not? How can you, as a Brazilian national, travel from Italy to the UK without getting a stamp in your passport? How would they not stamp your passport?
Because it's a normal boat. It's not like...
Even I go on the boat to France, they check my passport.
Depends which boat you use, lady.
Which port did it leave?
It's not port.
Well, the boats don't sail from Italy to the UK unless you went on a cruise ship. So where did you sail from?
Seriously, I can't remember. It's 2007.
You need to start giving me some explanations, sir, all right? Because at the moment, your immigration history with the UK is not very good, is it?
Yeah, no, I see that.
Quite a lot's come out of the interview in the sense that I had a suspicion that he may well have been using another document of some kind. And he's admitted to me straight away that he did use an Italian passport to try and get a national insurance number. He won't admit to having used it to travel on, but my suspicion is he has, because the fact he doesn't have stamps in his passports for his claimed visits to and from the continent would lead me to believe he's used it. He's obviously admitted he's been here for 4 years on and off, pretty much constantly, living here. I think he's been working. He won't admit to it, but, you know, he's been working here. He's not a genuine visitor. He wants to live here. He's not a genuine visitor.
Even though Officer Lee is in no doubt about the passenger's status, she must refer the case to Chief Officer Dyson.
Okay. In my opening gambit was, have you ever been in possession, or are you entitled to, any other nationality document or ID? Oh, well, there was the Italian passport that I went to prison for a month for. Ka-ching.
So he's either overstayed or he's been in
using
and out using a
dodgy
fraudulent document. Either way, it doesn't sit
He went to prison for a month. He used it to try and get an NI number, and it was deemed forged, because it was.
Has he used it to travel, though?
He says not, but I don't believe that.
Well, but then he's damned by his own words. Yeah. He's either used the document to travel, which again is illegal, or he's overstayed. He can't have it both ways.
And he acknowledges that.
Right. Well, we'll just have him as an overstay then.
Okay. No worries. Yep.
Thanks.
He's a serial abuser of UK law and the immigration system. He's overstayed twice. He's apparently, by his own admission, done a short period of time for using a false Italian passport, and he's currently under investigation for drugs charges. I don't consider that that's the sort of person I want to be letting in.
Mr. Toledo. Hello. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Which kind of bad news?
Bad news is that you're going to be refused entry to the UK. We're not allowing you in.
No, in UK.
Not coming into the UK, and we're going to send you back to Brazil on Sunday morning. Well,
I don't understand.
Okay,
why
well, because you're coming here as a visitor, and you've been living here as a visitor. You're not allowed to do that.
No. The first time, but now I was married. It's another situation.
But you don't have the right visa. If you read your Home Office letter, sir, it quite clearly says that doesn't mean you can stay and live here. You still need to sort the paperwork out.
Sorry about that.
All right.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
Have a safe journey home.
All right.
He's shown a blatant disregard, really, for immigration rules. He may not understand it. He may claim not to understand it. But the fact of the matter remains, that stamp in his passport tells him he can't work and he can only stay for 6 months. He's broken at least two occasions he stayed longer than he should, so them's the rubs, I guess.
The police do not pursue the drugs charge, deciding instead it's better the passenger is kept out of Britain. He's put on a flight back to Brazil, where he'll have to hatch another plan if he wants to see his husband.